Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, wonderful listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful briny day. It's another beautiful Monday morning, and you are here on our go-to platform. Here we bring you the latest headlines making waves in the news, from politics to business, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. Right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, we give you insightful discussions and informed perspective on the latest headlines across, abroad, and across the nation. As usual, I am your host, Esna Fiagbedu, and joining me on today's news headline review is Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, Miss Regina.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. What of you?
I'm fine. How was the weekend for you?
I wouldn't complain. It's manageable, even though it was stressful and all that. But we thank God for life.
Oh, we thank God.
Once there is life, there is hope. Yeah.
Once there's life, there's hope. For me, my weekend was kind of like a bit, stressful and kind of like packed. Because, my weekends are normally not for me. I have to go for lectures and all of that. We are still schooling, we are still learning, we are still adding up knowledge to serve you better right here on this show. So what caught your attention this weekend? Any news we missed during the weekend?
Okay, so the news that one particular news that caught my attention was Unim Red. That was so during the weekend. It was really trending, even though it's something that is trending. But during this weekend, I was just anywhere you pass, Unim Red, and someone asked, "What is Unim Red?" I was like, "You don't know Unim Red?"
I think it's something that started on Twitter.
Yeah,
on X.
yeah, and I'll say it's disheartening to see youth of today indulging in drug abuse and drug use. And when we say drug abuse, it's not only limited to those who abuse it like with higher drugs. Even as a normal human being, we do abuse drugs all the time. You might be complaining of a headache, you might be complaining of a stomach ache or something. Once the drug you are taking is not prescribed by a medical practitioner or a doctor, it is drug abuse. So drug abuse is not only those who sniff cocaine, inject all sorts of substance into their body. And sometimes, you go to the hospital, you are not well, they prescribe a dose for you. Take one. But some people will be like, the pain is too much.
So you take more than that. That is drug abuse.
That is drug abuse.
That is literally.
I was like, seriously, it's really bad. And some people, with the trend going on, some people are not really indulged in, should I say, the drug abuse or something like that. But because it's something that is trending, for them to do anything to get the likes, the comments, they also indulge in that. I can also be sitting here and pretend like I'm high.
Yeah.
But what would you gain? You might be taking it as a play. In future, see, they say the law of karma really works. You might think, say, but what if one day you get into a higher prestigious company and they ask you for your social media handle? Then they go and see your video.
They go all the way there to go and look at your social media platform. What is your life online?
Wait, the last time I even indulged myself in this social media trend, they'll ask your occupation, then you'll be given a whole lot of answers some would be like gold digger, some would be like hook up. I did some, and one person was like, no, I respect you too much to do that. I just had to take down the video. I just had to take down the video. And even at times there are certain things you just post online, then I'll be like, I'm shocked.
Sometimes you don't expect people
no,
to
I'm
do
shook. I'm very shook. Yeah, and also with there's a TikTok trend also going on, which I'll desist, especially the ladies from doing. Oh, my bad. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've not seen that.
Oh, then after the show, please can you go and search for "Oh My Bad" challenge, and you see the things you will see. It involves you posting a nice picture of you. Then the second slide of picture is supposed to be something bad, something nasty. Then the third slide will be something good. So, oh, my bad. So, oh, then nice picture will come.
Okay.
People have gone as far as posting their private parts.
Oh,
a whole lot.
that's bad.
The last time we
Very,
made
very
mention
bad.
of the use of social media, the impact it's had, and a whole lot. And it's like people are still taking social media for granted. We should know that social media is a very powerful tool in our lives.
Yeah.
When you take God out of our life, social media is another powerful tool which can either bring you down
Or take you there.
yeah.
So over the weekend, I also saw the dismissal of, should I say dismissal? Or he was rather changed. The dismissal of IGP, former IGP George Ekofu Dampare. And we've heard lots of stories. Oh my God.
A lot.
That he wasn't supposed to live there. People are also saying that he should have just retired voluntarily rather than waiting for them to come and dismiss him. A whole lot of stories. I also saw one with regards to the passports. The passports prices is going to be reduced to 300 cedis.
350 Ghana cedis.
350 cedis, so that every Ghanaian or everybody can get access to that. And I must say that I was very excited about that when I said, because some people would like to have their passports, not maybe for traveling, but to fill some documents or for a particular job qualification, but due to the price of passports, they are not able to get their passport done. So for the foreign minister to come out and say that they are reducing the prices of passports from 500 cedis to 300 to 350 Ghana cedis, I think it's a good news. And then I would advise that if you want to get your passport, this is the best time you need to do that. Just grab this opportunity. Save maybe 60 cedis for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. You can get
even 350 cedis. You can just get it within a month and make sure you process it.
What I'm going to do is with these girl boys, and at the end of the day, they are giving you a fake passport. So
then
please,
you come out to blame the government.
Grab the opportunity. And now they'll be working 24 hours. So
24
please,
hours.
grab the opportunity. So that was our weekend highlights. All right, let's dive straight into our news headline review for today. Ken Oforiatta takes legal action against OSP for declaring him wanted. Former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta has filed a lawsuit against the Office of the Special Prosecutor following its decision to declare him wanted. Oforiatta is seeking a court injunction to prevent the OSP from reissuing the declaration, which he claims is baseless and unjustified. The legal action follows the OSP's announcement earlier this year that it had labeled him a fugitive in connection with alleged corruption and financial misconduct. The former finance minister has consistently denied the allegations, insisting that he has cooperated with the investigation through his legal representatives. In his suit, Oforiatta argues that the OSP's actions have caused significant damage to his reputation and personal life. He is asking the court to restrain the OSP from making further declarations against him under legal process and fully resolved. Oforiatta is, among other things, seeking a declaration that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has no statutory powers to use media briefing to declare a person wanted or fugitive from justice. The OSP has no powers other than what is provided for the police to declare a person wanted, and the same cannot be done without leave of the courts. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, in exercising the powers of the police as provided for under Section 28 of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor Operations Regulation 2018, is bound by the limits placed on the exercise of discretional power as enshrined in the service. Instructions of the police service under Article 200 and consistency with Article 296 of the Constitution 1992. So Ken Oforiatta is pressing charges. When I say pressing charges, or is taking legal actions against OSP for declaring him a wanted person. Well, this thing actually baffles my mind, because you're declaring somebody wanted, and then you come back again and say that the person is no longer wanted. Simply is so. On what ground did you declare that person wanted? Is it that you had enough evidence with the allegation, alleged allegation that has been incorporated on him, or that has been bashed on him, that he is involved in some kind of scandals? So it really baffles my mind.
Yeah, so I feel with, as he said, alleged.
Yeah,
I feel that the evidence OSP has or have is allegedly, purportedly, it has no ground, it has no base, it has no solid evidence. Because if you truly have an evidence against a former finance minister, why then would you come out to declare him wanted and later on come out not to declare him wanted again? First of all, I would agree with our former finance minister, that with him declaring him wanted, it's damage his reputation as a whole. Yes, it would damage your reputation. Let's look at the functions of the OSP. It's to investigate and prosecute. And when we say prosecute, you go forward to court to present your legal whatever you have to court, and the court is the one supposed to give you the mandatory, to give you the go ahead, or to give you a form to formally or officially declare you wanted. It's like a police officer. These officers who raided finance minister's home, they had no such warrant. Before, as a police officer, no matter the position you hold, no matter high position you hold in parliament, in government, in power, in whatever, you need a formal, just a piece of paper that will officially give you that mandate to go ahead to search someone's home. So as you can see, he sued those police officers, two of them, and now he's suing a honorable officer OSP. It's shocking, as he said, marveled. But let's take this in a broader perspective. You can't just wake up one day and declare me wanted. First of all, this has its advantages and disadvantages, and I'll tackle both of them. When, from the OSP's point, fine, it's your duty, but it's not your duty to declare someone wanted. As finance minister said in just a media briefing, you just wake up because you are addressing the media on how the things are going, then you just declare me wanted just like that. No, you don't have the mandates for that. Your duty is to investigate the issue and prosecute. And if you think you have an upper hand in the investigation and you have all the necessary evidence, just provide that evidence to your lawyers, to the court, for them to do their own side of the job. You don't take all the job upon yourself to do. And nextly, we would call the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, incompetent. Incompetent in the sense that you don't, should I say, eat your cake and have it back. How can you declare someone wanted, the next minute you come out to say the person is not wanted, and now he has released a statement saying that he would declare Ofori Atta wanted again by June 2nd if he doesn't meet with the deadline? Seriously, I believe you have a legal representation who communicates with the later. Now let's look at the finance minister also. I have a problem with him. Why are you suing him now? I believe a legal communication was going on between your legal team and OSP's legal team. He will not just wake up to come and declare you wanted. It's either there was a misinformation or lack of communication between these two. Because if from the onset I had come to you wanting to investigate you due to one or two corrupt scandals, you should make yourself available. And when you are communicating something to someone, you shouldn't just leave out the important aspect of it. Fine, you told them that you are not well due to one or two reasons, but give them a date. That this is the time I will be able to be available to come to you for you to investigate me, for you to question me. So these two people, they all have question mark. Because if one had done his or her part well, it wouldn't have resulted to this. So he's suing him. I would say he has the right to do that because, as he said, his rights has been infringed upon. Yeah.
So before we move on to the next headline, I jotted out something. So let's break down the story here. Former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has filed a lawsuit against the Office of the Special Prosecutor for declaring him wanted. This is why he has been taken to court. This is why he has been sued. Ken Ofori-Atta has sued him for declaring him a wanted person. Ken Ofori-Atta is asking the court to prevent the OSP from reissuing the declaration, which he claims is unjustified. Now, what led to that? What led to that? Is it that Is it that they didn't get in touch with him? That is why they had to declare him wanted. Because I believe if you want to speak to somebody or if you want to communicate with, even if you are not reaching directly to the person, there are other alternative or subordinates you can use to get to reach that person, rather than coming out to reach to say that that person is wanted. Now, moving on, the OSP previously labeled him a fugitive, linking him to a financial misconduct. Now, the OSP didn't have enough evidence, because I believe that if you have evidence that this person is involved in this corruption and misconduct, then why don't you charge him immediately rather than declaring him wanted and a fugitive, just to invite him for investigation? That is another one. Ken Ofori-Atta insists that he cooperated with investigators through his legal representative and argues that the OSP's actions have harmed his reputation and personal life, on which I really do agree with him. Because if you should declare me wanted and declare me a fugitive, if I should come out, who knows, people are just going to throw stone at me simply because you've declared me a fugitive. And if they say someone is a fugitive, that's a big crime, that's a big tag. And then his reputation has actually been ruined. And that poster or that declaration they made that he is being wanted and is being a fugitive is going to be there forever. How are you going to feel if you see on the internet that your dad was once declared a fugitive? That's a tent
today in history.
Oh my God, that's a tent on his reputation and then his personal life as well. So in his suit, he argues that the OSP lacks the powers to declare anyone wanted through media briefings, What are some of the functions of the OSP here?
So, as I stated earlier, let's look at just the sole function of the OSP is to investigate and prosecute.
Investigate and then
Prosecute the issue. And by prosecuting, you have to go forward to either the Supreme Court, the High Court, to make your charge. That is where they will give you the mandate to go ahead to. You are not even giving the mandate. The court is the one supposed to declare this person wanted.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to there's a case where an armed robber. Even this time around, when you notice when a media house is declaring someone a suspect, that person's face is being covered, because it might be that after the investigation, this person will not be a suspect, will be free of any charge. So what if you bring this person's face out, that this person is a suspect to this person's murder? After investigations, this person is innocent. Do you know the person can go ahead to sue you for defamation?
Yeah.
Because menim daho, even though I'm innocent, wherever I go, the tag is there that you were once a suspect. So with Oforia Atai, I agree with him perfectly well. And you also asked that is it that he insisted on communicating through his legal team.
Yeah.
It's a probability that the legal team did not do their duty as assigned. They didn't communicate well with the OSP, because there's no way I would communicate with you, Asinam, that I need this perfume, and even if I'm not able to tell you, I tell QQ, please tell Asinam that I need this perfume. If that directive is not being taken out, who would I blame? I would blame the intermediary. No one has the right, even though you have the right to come and blame me, but that is why I have a representative. I have someone standing in for me. Even in other institutions and all that, you don't just wake up and go directly to the CEO. You have to it's like is it a hierarchy?
A hierarchy.
Yes, you have to pass through certain people before you get to someone. So the OSP has to come out. I feel the OSP has to come out to publicly apologize, because you publicly came out.
I think they came out to apologize for raiding his home, of which the OSP is saying that he wasn't responsible for that and that it was staged. So as of now,
how do you even know it's staged?
Even shaking. I think they are not being transparent enough with us with this whole kind of
like excuse me, I take a gun and shoot you, and I'm saying that it's staged. It's just play. How do you even know it's staged?
Before you go to raid somebody's house, you need a warrant.
You need a warrant. So
you don't barge into people's house simply because the person has committed a crime. So you are here to grab the person. You need a warrant. What shows that you are the person in charge to take me home?
And also, this should serve as a deterrent to other police officers, because they feel that they are police officers, they intimidate people with their uniforms. So because I'm in uniform, you have to give me access to whatever I want, and they tend to intimidate people who do not really know their rights and who do not really know the law. Because I believe that if you know the law, you know that before a police officer can even have access to even your parlor or whatever, he or she needs a warrant. Without a warrant, you can't just barge into someone's house or someone's home. So with the finance minister, ex-finance minister suing them, he has every right to do that.
You think he has every right to do that? You can share your thoughts in our comment section on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio, and X on GhanaTalks Radio. Do you think it was right for Ken Ofori-Atta to sue the OSP for declaring him a wanted person? Moving on to our next headline. Africa must shape its education system to solve local problems. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman has urged African countries to develop education policies that tackle their challenges instead of adopting foreign models. Speaking at a meeting on March 14, 2025, with representatives from the Association for Development of Education in Africa and the African Development Bank, she said education reforms should be designed with long-term goals in mind and reflect Africans' unique realities. She said for stronger teacher training, a balance between quality and access, and the use of research to guide policy decisions. She also stressed the importance of incorporating African languages into teaching to improve understanding and learning outcomes. The ADEA and AFDB delegation welcomed their inclusion in Ghana's National Education Forum and supported calls for African countries to finance their own education system rather than depend on external funding. So this is what VIP had to say with regards to education system. Vice President Nana Jean Opoku Ajiman has urged African nations to shape the education system based on local needs rather than copying foreign models. What do you make of that?
Okay, so with this education system of a thing, she's saying this in regards to all Africans. But let me use our beloved Ghana, our beloved country, for example. When we go to the Western countries, with the kind of program you want to offer, that is what you would do in regards to that. So if you want to be a mechanic, you would go and do the auto engineering.
Yeah.
If you want to be a lawyer, you would go to the law school. If you want to be a chef or anything, you would go to the Department of Home Economics. When you want to be an architect, you will go to the Department of Pretech. Oh, it's not Pretech. It's Pretech. Yeah, pre-technical skills. Let's look at Ghana here. Since primary, Akola kiti over primary 6 will be learning like how many? 8
courses.
8 courses.
8 courses.
English, Maths, French, Chi, a whole lot. Science, RMU, Social Studies, a whole lot. Fine. Basic education is very good. That is why we have core subjects. That is mandatory. So why don't we gain that basic education from those core subjects? That is the maths and science. These two things. Then you add your course, the course you want to do. Fine, maybe akola. So he or she might not still have that knowledge to know what he or she wants to become in future. But what of JHS? What of SHS? Why do we think that the rate at which young students are writing of deck remedials is on the high? If one teacher can't teach all these 11 or 13 subjects, why then should they think a student is supposed to be able to learn all 13 subjects? That is why every teacher per subject. Some people even go to the extent of running shifts, but they want these students to sit from morning till 3 o'clock learning how many subjects? 13 subjects. Does it sit well with you?
And even some teachers are not actually assigned to one particular course. One teacher will teach like 5 courses. Will teach RME, will teach social studies, will teach maths, and will teach English as well.
Now, Obeba Krampo no, now he's already stressed. Ni boy fune ho.
So definitely the anger will be vent on the student.
Yes, exactly. I remember JHS early morning maths. It's a way of training, but early morning I come to ask me maths. I come to ask me that what and he wants you to use 1 minute, seconds to answer that question. If you are not able to and if you are not able to answer, you go and come back again, you receive another case into See, with what our vice president is saying, I agree with her. She's someone who is in the education sector, who has specialized in that. So I feel that they should really look into that. They should make sure that certain courses which they feel wouldn't be in favor of us, they should just scrap that course, or rather they should limit the courses, because a young student can be learning like 13 getting to 15 course just a day or just the entire life. No. What you want to do, that is what you have to learn upon. That is what you have to learn with. Unless maybe they have a special thing, they say that should I say maybe basic education, we have to get basic education on all aspects of the courses. But sometimes you need to ask yourself, what you learned in SHS, what you learned in primary JHS, are you applying that now? Are you applying that now? Yes. There are certain things we look up to the Western countries and we adapt to. Why don't we adopt that same techniques also? It would really help.
Yeah.
And it will also reduce those remedials and all that. Akolebia and boy, but the load is too much, very too much.
Yeah, so many African countries adopt Western curricula, which may not fully address local challenges or prepare students for regional job markets. You know, I actually think that our education system should go under a proper reform.
Yeah,
because sometimes you go to the university or even some schools and then you learn some particular jobs, and then you yourself, you know that this one day when you come out you won't get a job.
Yeah, true. Especially should I say this white collar jobs. And see, it's not about you not getting a job. Sometimes it's all boils down to as the individual. Because if for you like this, let's say you're already in the sector where you're doing your practicality, some people will go to the university, spend 3 years, waste 3 years of their life there, and come out and be doing manual jobs and be doing informal jobs and all that. So that money you are using, I'm not saying education is not good. Education is good, but sometimes you have to consider certain things. I can remember our ex-president at a time said that for now there's no space on the payroll, especially for government workers, for new people to join, but rather invest yourself or invest your time into, should I say, a skill. That was what he said. That is why we have vocational schools. We have technical schools.
Yeah.
I have a lady in my area who didn't go to SHS. The moment she completed JHS, and she went straight into her vocational school, and now she's a madam of her own.
Exactly.
She knows how to sew. She knows how to braid. When it comes to makeup, everything about beautician, she knows how to do it well, because we have a single school that is offering all these courses. Rather than you going to sit there from morning to evening learning maths, learning CRS, learning history, that history that we learned in school, what's the gain now?
I think this really needs to be looked into so that Africa can shape its educational system to solve local problems. The rise of unemployment in our country is becoming rampant and very alarming. So I think focus should go into the informal sector that has to do with skills.
Yeah.
I think people should pay close. It's not always that you need to be in
the office
offices and all. And even those that are in the offices, they have side jobs.
Yeah.
So assuming if you have a particular skill which has to do with maybe makeup, see, the white collar job, they become rich once a month.
After that
day, the money is gone. You pay the bills, and so if you are having a vocation, if you have the skill, right now it's not about what you know. It's about what's your skill. What can you do? What are you bringing to the table? So I think this should be looked into. Our educational sector should be structured well, should be reformed well, so that our educational system can solve these local problems. In my own opinion, that is what I think the government should also do, and our educational system should also do as well. So moving on to our last news headline. Mohammed's dismissal of Dampare was cold, lacked empathy. This is coming from Franklin Kujo. President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, has criticized President John Dramani Mohammed's dismissal of former Inspector General of Police (IGP) Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, describing the letter announcing his removal as cold and lacking empathy. Kujo expressed concern that the dismissal letter failed to acknowledge Dr. Dampare's service or extend well wishes for his future. He compared the situation to the removal of former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo by ex-President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, noting that while the process was widely criticized as unfair, at least an explanation was provided for Domlevo's removal. Kujo described Dampare's removal as abrupt and unprofessional. But has it gotten to that? I believe that every leader should be able to select the kind of people that he feels comfortable to work with. And this one, I don't think it has to do with maybe comfortability or some. One person can be in a position for a very long time. You see, people also have potentials. You see, they also have the ability and then the capability. Why don't you also give them the chance? I think Dampare has been the IGP for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
4 years. And I learned he's even...
Is it 4 years? I think 8 years. Oh.
Really?
I think when Nanado came into power, and I stand to be corrected, but I think it's 8 years. I don't really know
so
that.
I think every leader should be given the chance to work with whoever they want to work with, rather than you sitting somewhere and say that it was lack of empathy and then it's cold. But all the same, I think President John Dramani Mahama came out to acknowledge his work, and even his communication spokesperson, that is Kwache Felix Ofosu, that he left a legacy and that legacy will be remembered. So I don't know why Franklin Kujo is out here saying that his dismissal was cold and then lacked empathy.
Yeah, so it's actually 4 years. He was appointed on the 21st of July, and he started working 1st August 2021. So
2021.
Yeah.
So that's 4 years. Yeah, you will call baby, I call baby. Okay. So this one, there's no hard feelings.
Okay, I don't know why they always have a problem when someone is being re-elected. You now you're the nipa for fraba. I don't really know why people have a problem with that, because you, as a human being, you can't be at one particular spot for a very long time. As time goes on, you have to change your environment and all that. Yes, there's a time in human life where we can't be stagnant. I'm not saying Dampare is stagnant, but first of all, I would applaud him on a good work done, because IGP, I can't remember then times. Oh, baby, IGP, IGP, and true, he has really done well. He's not like those officers who just come to sit in power and do nothing. He did something, and he also made sure his subordinates or people under him also exhibited good attitude towards work. And also, where there was a case where when he was removed, some officers were very happy. And I was like, why would you be happy because a good boss like this is being taken out of power? And one thing, I don't know who said that, but if you get a boss, or said do what is right, do the right thing, you get to, but some people get to have an issue with that. You should only have an issue with that where you feel that he's being should I say he's not being fair, should I use the word favoritism, or should I use the word maybe he's favoring other people over you,
being biased.
you should only have a problem with that. But once he's not exhibiting those attitudes and rather making sure that what you are there for, you do it. You are there to work. You shouldn't have a problem with that. You are there to work. And also, I don't know if you remember, there was a case where a leaked audio went round. This is what the IGP said. They had to set up a committee to investigate that leak audio and a whole lot. So I feel that the sabotage was already there. People didn't really like him that much. So when I saw the video where some officers were jubilating, I was like, oh, seriously, you should even be in public doing this. Even if you jubilate, go in your room and jubilate.
But they actually posted it on all socials, and you could actually see that
you're happy that he's changed though. What of the new one coming? Do you know what he's bringing? Do you know the straight hands, the iron hands he's bringing on board? Because you don't have, should I say, the space to do certain corrupt activities. So you feel that the new one coming maybe would give you.
Was the IG, was he that strict?
Yeah, he was strict. Yeah, he was strict.
That is why people are jubilating over his removal?
Because why would you jubilate if your manager is taking off? Unless you tell me that your manager is not being fair, that is understandable. But a manager where he makes sure he oversees everything, yes, you are even growing yourself. Maybe from the onset you had a problem with he keeping you on your toes. But if you are someone who really wants to grow, who doesn't want to sit at one place for a particular time, you would with time learn to adapt with his changes. But why should you be happy? Why should you jubilate? Will his pay be given to you?
Will his pay be given to you? But I think people are worried about this issue or are bashing the government simply because they didn't provide any explanation as to why they had to dismiss him from his post.
Who are they? Who are you? Asemo, who are you? Are you the president? Why should the president? Oh, fine. Your president has to.
For me, I think there should be some kind of like an explanation for his dismissal.
I don't want you. When Nanado came into power, if he doesn't want to work with someone, he takes the person off and reappoints someone else.
Don't you think that is you being unfair? Because I believe that if you are competent,
how is it being unfair? It's enough when you go into an institute where they give you the power to rule over that company. If you don't want someone, if you feel that you can't work with this person, you have to pick that person out and throw.
But why can't you work with that person?
Why should I work with you? I don't want to work with you.
Personal issues, or maybe simply because you think that person doesn't have the potential to be there, or you think that person doesn't fit that role.
So as you are saying, first of all, it can be personal issues. Secondly, it can be that the person is not fit for that role. Or thirdly, it might be that what time are some go and rest, because IGP, he's old enough to rest.
Are you also excited about his?
I'm not excited. Oh, when I saw it, even I think is it Imani Ghana or Imani Ghana and a certain man called Anine, or is it Anin? Yeah, people even went as far as
going to court.
So you should know that he's a man of integrity. He's a man who came to do his work well. Yeah. Because if you didn't do your work well, there's no way people would be rooting for you. I was actually also rooting for him. I saw the news on Thursday where they went to court. On Friday, he has been removed. I was like, oh God, why? Why him?
He fits all the qualities.
Yes.
He's competent.
Yes.
He has played his role very well. And then
this is a leader, not a boss, a leader.
And we've seen him do social work when it comes to funny face, when he was having this depression and the frustration issue. We saw how the IGP came in to come and console him. We also saw the IGP directing traffic and helping school children cross the road. IGP, all I have to do is sit in the office and direct and order. For him to humble himself to that level, to do all of these things, and then for him to be removed.
He's not a boss where you would rather be sitting down, be ordering you do this. He involves himself in the day-to-day activities to make sure that everything is going on smoothly.
for me, I am looking forward to an explanation to this. We need an explanation. Even if there's no explanation, you come and tell us something. Why you think the IGP was being removed? And
don't expect any explanation. So that you can Ember, right? Ember.
No, but at least we need to know why he was.
Yeah, removed. We need to know. Is it that he was being incompetent?
Or was he involved in any corruption?
Yes,
or something?
Yeah.
At least tell us something.
But said you can Ember. You bet now why baby. I just say
I look for it there. Like, but why was he dismissed?
And no valid reason was given.
No valid
just
reason.
Removed just like that.
High rank man.
Yeah.
And for him to be dismissed, meaning there's
something. Yeah, there's something. Or maybe they don't want to make it public. But for him to also come out to say that serving Ghana was one of the greatest things ever for him to do, he would continue to cherish Ghana. I feel for his part was really good, because Obi Wabeka say ye me until me mpiem bekasa. And I said, maybe I be to be sabotage upon sabotage. Why did Mahama remove me? He's been, should I say, politically biased or something? And others are also saying, say, this has to do with politics, because Nanado appointed him, and now there's a new government in power, new king, new law. So we shouldn't have a problem with that.
So you think these officials should be removed?
Not to be removed. But do you know that this one person who is being really called out to be removed is our EC, but she's still there.
Oh, small.
For
me, I'm rooting for her to be removed.
Right? Okay, so you two, why are you rooting for her to be removed? She's not incompetent. She's doing her job well.
Oh, she's doing her. I wouldn't say, okay, I'm not in the right place to say that maybe she's not doing her job well or something. But I think with regards to the issue with Zablekuma, not issue.
Up till now. What are you doing?
And they are not saying anything about it. That is why I feel like, she needs to be removed. We need someone better who can do things swiftly and then work swiftly for us.
Yeah, even just recently, I think she had a meeting with some stakeholders where they would very soon be introducing the electronic voting to, according to her, to reduce rejected ballots.
So what are they doing about the Ablekuma North consistency? About their...
Up to now, she's still quiet about it. Maybe they are putting necessary steps in place to make sure that...
We've waited for too long, please. They should just come out and tell us whoever won that. Who knows? Maybe one of them have the potential, or maybe have an opportunity to have a ministerial position. But here lies the case, because it hasn't been declared yet. They are being withheld or something. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on today's headline review. This is where we draw the curtains. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Welcome to Today in History, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. I answer to the name Miss Regina Bless. So today in history, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was proclaimed with Victor Emmanuel II as its first king, following the unification of Italy. This had significant implications for Italian colonies in Africa. 1958, Today in History. The first Africanist Congress was held in Accra, Ghana, marking an important milestone in the Pan-African movement. Today in History, 1964. The United States launched a satellite that transmitted television signals to West Africa, marking the beginning of satellite television broadcasting in Africa. Today in history, 1992, white South Africans voted in a referendum to end apartheid, paving the way for democratic reforms in South Africa. Moving to some did you know for today. Did you know that Africa is the only continent that has parts located in the Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, Eastern Hemisphere, and Western Hemisphere? Due to its geographical position, a portion of Africa lies on either side of both the equator and the prime meridian, placing it in all four hemispheres. Did you know that while eating chocolate while studying may have a small positive effect on brain function and memory retention due to the presence of flavonoids in dark chocolate? Did you also know that the line that separates day and night on Earth is called the terminator? It's also known as the twilight zone or gray line. The terminator is not a fixed line, but rather a gradual transition between day and night. Did you know that scientists say when you die, you have 7 minutes of brain activity left, which your brain playing back memories into a dream sequence? Did you know that? So when you die, you have 7 minutes of your brain left to go back and cherish sweet memories from loved ones. Did you also know that according to botanical reasons, tomatoes are considered fruits because they develop from the flower of a plant and contain seeds, even though they are commonly used as vegetables in cooking? So yes, tomato is a fruit which can be eaten raw just like that. Very sweet and very nutritious. Did you also know that while occasionally hearing your name when no one is calling you is generally considered a normal brain function and not necessarily a sign of problem or a sign of a spiritual attack? It shows that you have a healthy brain. Did you know that the tiny pocket in jeans was originally designed to hold a pocket watch? It was invented by Levi Strauss and Jacob Davis in 1873. So the tiny pocket in our jeans is designed to hold a pocket watch, but this time around we use it to hold our coins and our money to avoid it getting missing. But its original use is to hold pocket watches. And that's all for today on Today in History. And did you know, join me same time tomorrow for more knowledgeable and fascinating facts. Miss Isanam.
Whoa, so why are they saying tomato is a fruit?
Tomato is a fruit because they are developed from a flower and it contains seeds, but because it is used in cooking, people consider it as a vegetable, but originally it is a fruit. Do you know you can actually eat tomato raw and it's very sweet? Yeah, but I don't know why people hate eating it raw.
Some people also use it for facial.
Very good.
Really?
Yes, very good. I was saying, you may not time.
Yes, and so
that
use it for your face.
yeah.
The bacteria alone.
Oh, so you can actually get one, refrigerate it, you use it on your face, then you cut that side off, then you keep it again, you use it, so you just be cutting it off just like that. Oh, it's very good. Same applies to cucumber.
Well, I'm saying some story that has to do with Ken Oforiatta again.
What is he saying again?
So they say Oforiatta will be declared wanted if he misses June's second deadline.
OSP, should I say?
I'm getting tired myself. I want to give up, but I don't want to give up.
I have already given up.
Oh no, don't give up.
I've already given up because listen, it's like you really not knowing what your job entails. As we said, your job is to, let me see if I can get the functions. Your job is to make sure you investigate and prosecute. But it's like because you are, should I say, high in power, or you have the power, you just wake up and
see, listen to this. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has warned that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will be relisted as a wanted person if he fails to appear for questioning on June 2nd. In a statement acknowledging a lawsuit filed by Mr. Yao Ofori-Atta, challenging the OSP's earlier declaration that he was a fugitive from justice, the OSP clarified that it removed his name from its wanted list in good faith after receiving a request from him. Okay, so Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons, with a reassurance to the OSP that he will make himself available for questioning on a definite date. The OSP, in good faith and on the basis of Mr. Ofori-Atta's assurance, granted his request and removed his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons, pending his personal attendance at the OSP on the definite date. That's an emotion.
Okay,
so he actually went back door to request that, oh, Charlie, I will come June 2nd. I beg, make you J my name.
And now they J your name will be added again.
That is actually unprofessional. In my opinion, I think that is actually unprofessional. But because if you declare somebody wanted, declare him wanted.
Yeah, once and for all. Don't be going back and forth.
And 3 days later, we were here, then we came again that he's no longer a fugitive, and then he's no longer wanted. So on what basis did you declare him wanted?
So the OSP represents the states. So first of all, prosecutors represent the state in criminal cases, acting on behalf of the people to ensure justice and uphold the law, and also initiating criminal proceedings. They have the authority to initiate criminal prosecutions based on evidence and legal standards. I'll come back to that. Presenting cases in courts. Prosecutors present evidence and argue cases in courts to prove the guilt of the accused beyond a reasonable doubt. So the function of the OSP investigates and prosecutes. You see, when I was talking, I said prosecute. You go to court, either the Supreme Court or the High Court, to present your case. If you really have matter, they will give you matter, and you will deal with that matter. But you don't have the right to go forward to declare the person wanted. First of all, you've infringed on that person's right. You've tarnished the person's image. I made an example relating to a suspect. Nowadays, you will not see a suspect's face on the media declaring this person a suspect, but they've blurred the person's face. What if you go and investigate the person, you go to court, and that person is not a suspect? The person can sue you for defamation because you've disgraced me. You've given me a tag that is not true. So the look at Joe. The office of the special prosecutor.
OSP is being unprofessional here.
When you say pedo, say that, don't say it.
I feel the OSP is being unprofessional because you can't come and tell me that in good faith. If we were all,
so it means you are working based on sentiment. So right now, if he's declared true, he has a hand in the corruption, and he pass back door and come and tell you, OSP, you know that I am guilty, but please, I beg you, take this money and leave me alone. In good faith, you leave him.
Because how can you say that he formally requested? So he's actually telling the OSP what to do. Because if you have formally requested that the OSP should remove your name from the OSP's list of wanted person, and you are giving him assurance that what if he doesn't do that? Right now you've come back to say that he's not wanted, and now he's suing you. So matters are actually around.
Yes, and by June 2nd we will know if Ken Oforiatta is wanted or not wanted.
For me, I'm just hoping that this investigation wouldn't be buried, because we have started with you. Please end with us well.
Yeah.
Because right now, what we are reading in the news,
it's nothing to write home
a lot
about.
to say. Just be transparent with us. This is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right after the news, we'll be coming up with the second segment with insightful topics and discussions with our renowned and knowledgeable guests. Please stay tuned and join us.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, GACL dismisses widespread reports of unfair promotions. Nanayao Akwada Dampari's leadership instilled order and discipline. In other stories, fire guards Labone Senior High School Girls Dormitory, and Oforiatta would be declared wanted again if he fails to meet June 2nd deadline, OSP. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awentemi Akansukum. Now let's settle for the details. The management of the Ghana Airports Company Limited (GACL) has dismissed reports of growing agitation among workers over alleged unfair promotions. The company states that all staff advancements have followed due processes. This comes after media reports suggested that recent management decisions, including the promotion of certain individuals within 3 months of their engagement, were causing discontent among employees. Some workers allege that these promotions were politically influenced. However, in a statement, GACL management declared that all promotions were conducted following established protocols, including departmental recommendations and panel evaluations involving representatives from the Public Services Commission and relevant professional associations. GACL assured the public and stakeholders of its commitment to transparency, accountability, and operational excellence in fulfilling its mandate. Now, Dr. Nanayao Akwada, Executive Director and Chief of Party of the Bureau of Public Safety, has praised the leadership of Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare during his tenure as Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service. According to Dr. Akwada, in a statement issued Saturday, March 15th, Dampare's leadership brought a sense of order, discipline, and duty towards citizens, which earned him widespread admiration from the public, though not necessarily from all members of the public service. However, Dr. Akwada expressed concern over the celebrations following Dampare's anticipated removal, cautioning that this should not lead to the erosion of the public confidence he built in the police leadership. He urged stakeholders to preserve the gains made under Dampare's tenure. Dr. Akwada also commented on Dampare's successor, COP Christian Tete Yohonu, describing him as a well-regarded and widely supported leader. Nevertheless, he stressed that effective leadership in public service requires more than popularity, particularly in Ghana's context. Now, a devastating fire has ravaged 3 girls' dormitory at Laboni Senior High School in Accra, leaving significant damage to the facility. Emergency services, including the Ghana National Fire Service, responded promptly to the scene and worked tirelessly to bring the situation under control. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined, but the fire broke out while students were attending afternoon prayer. The blaze impacted 3 out of 6 dormitories, with 1 dormitory completely destroyed and 2 others sustaining partial damage. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigations. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, and the affected students have been relocated to the assembly hall for temporary accommodation. Now, the Office of the Special Prosecutor (OSP) has issued a stern warning to former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, stating that he will be relisted as wanted person should he fail to appear for questioning on 2nd June 2025. This follows a prior agreement between Mr. Ofori-Atta and the OSP, in which he assured authorities of his willingness to cooperate with the ongoing corruption investigations. The OSP initially removed his name from its wanted list in good faith after receiving a formal request from him. In a statement responding to a lawsuit filed by Yao Ofori-Atta challenging the OSP's earlier designation of Ken Ofori-Atta as a fugitive from justice, the prosecuting authority claimed it stands. Mr. Ofori-Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons, with the assurance that he would make himself available for questioning on a definite date. The statement noted. The OSP further emphasized that his removal from the list was conditional upon his personal attendance at the designated time. The special prosecutor has now made it clear that Mr. Ofori-Atta's stance is mandatorily required on 2nd June 2025. Should he fail to attend, he would immediately be relisted as a wanted person and deemed a fugitive from justice. The OSP warned that in such a case, it would issue an Interpol red notice and initiate extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction where he may be located. Meanwhile, the former finance minister has taken legal action against the OSP, seeking an injunction to prevent the office from declaring him wanted person. He argued that the actions taken by the special prosecutor are baseless and lack justification. His legal representation asserts that he has cooperated with the investigators through his lawyers, thus rendering any attempt to label him a fugitive unfair and damaging to his reputation. The legal battle stems from allegations of corruption and financial misconduct, for which Mr. Ofori-Atta has been named the prime suspect in 5 ongoing investigations. The OSP has insisted that it remains unwavering in its duty to enforce the law and ensure justice is served. The agency reiterated its position that it will not relent in its pursuit of accountability, especially in matters concerning financial malfeasance. Mr. Ofori-Atta, however, maintains that the OSP's actions have caused significant damage to his reputation and personal life. Through his lawsuit, he's seeking to restrain the special prosecutor from making any further public declarations about his status until all legal proceedings have been resolved. Now, moving straight to some business this morning, finance and economic policy analyst Senor Jose has expressed optimism about the potential success of the Ghana Gold Board, provided its governance and operational structures are competently implemented. The Ghana Gold Board is a government-owned entity tasked with supervising and advancing the gold industry in Ghana. Its key objective is to ensure that the gold sector functions efficiently, sustainably, efficiently and in alignment with national development goals, ultimately driving economic progress. The board serves as a critical regulator of gold mining activities, striving to optimize the responsible use of Ghana's gold resources while promoting growth and stability within the industry. In an article themed Our Gold and the Gold Bond, research released on March 15, Jose highlighted the opportunities it presents for quality assurance and the unique brand of the nation's gold on the international market. He underscored the importance of a robust regulatory and operating framework that aligns with existing structures to ensure market adaptability. According to Jose, commercial sanctity will be at the heart of Gold Board's success. To some sports, Nations Football Club defender Razak Simpson is sure to head to the Black Stars camp feeling very buoyant after scoring a brilliant free kick. Simpson struck a powerful free kick from 28 yards to put Nations up to 1-0 in the 33rd minute and celebrated by doing the greedy dance. Nations went on to beat Midiema SC 2-1 in the Ghana Premier League contest. Teammate Faisal Chawete scored in the 79th minute to cancel out Midiema's youth Abubakari's goal in the 59th minute. The goal was Simpson's third in 17 league appearances in this season, while Chawete's brilliant campaign continued as he bagged his 10th league goal in 19 games. Simpson is one of 3 Ghanaian Premier League players called up to the Black Stars. Heart of Oak's Benjamin Asari and Midiama's Kamaradini Mahmudu also was named in the squad. Now moving straight to some showbiz, Ghanaian playwright and tour guide Ni Ayi Solomon has joined calls to preserve the Center for National Culture in Accra. His admonition is premised on the intervention of government to demolish the performance center at the premises to make way for the construction of the Marine Drive project. It had earlier been said that the art center at the center would also be relocated to Kawokudi in Accra due to the construction. However, speaking to Kwame Dadzi on Joy FM, Ni Ayi Solomon said the center is of historical significance and must not be demolished because of the project. He has therefore called on the government chair, King Techi Tekusru II, to help preserve the Center for National Culture in Accra. The Art Center was built by Kwame Nkrumah and it serves its purpose to promote the art and culture of the jurisdiction. This is what we have in Accra. You are destroying it and going to build what for the people, he adds. He also advised the contractors of the Marine Drive project to find a way of building their projects without touching the art center, instead of providing an event center in the Marine Drive project. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukumasi. Thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com GhanaTalksRadio.co or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.co or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We are back here again. So right before we dive into our second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, we are here, Reggie and I. We are going to do small concert before Marie and our knowledgeable guests join us for the second segment. So what do you have for us?
What do I have for you?
Yes. I saw you.
Oh yeah, I was doing some.
Yeah, I saw you reading some newspapers out. I want you to.
Okay, so I think we would start with the introduction of the new tax. It's not necessarily a new tax, but a few amount, should I say a few amount or a higher amount has been increased due to in regards to the small scale miners. And now some people are happy about it, others are also not happy about it. Some can say ombeyi taxes, bibia ombeyi levy, ombeyi COVID-19, ombeyi 10% the fee. Yes.
And then they'll revise the import tax as well.
Yeah, and now no omode akoka small scale miners, no, and some people are angry, and I was like, why are you angry over this? Because I feel, in my honest opinion, I feel it's a very great step they've taken, first of all, to help curb galamsey, illegal mining, and secondly to deter these people involved in that, because looking at a galamsey issue, as we said, it is spoiling our water bodies. And our water bodies are not just mere water bodies just there. It is not only for beautification, but it also serves as a purpose in our lives.
Irrigation purposes for the farmers.
Yes. So just imagine galamseyers destroying our water bodies. They are not only just destroying it by discoloring the water, but adding dangerous chemicals to it. Now, with the dangerous chemicals, these farmers go and fetch this water to how is it said?
Irrigation purpose.
Yes. The chemicals in it would affect the seeds. And first of all, it's not nutritious. Secondly, it is not should I say a balanced diet.
It's not even organic.
It is not organic because there are chemicals in the food, and we would eat it, we would absorb it, and it will cause another issue. I can't remember, is it the pharmaceutical companies came out to say that very soon they would have to be importing waters because the water here is not safe for consumption, it's not safe for use. And it's true. I saw a video where, I don't want to lie, it's either a media station or someone outside Ghana came to Ghana here. Yes, it's someone outside Ghana who came to Ghana here to go to a town where galamsey is dominant. People have dominated that place just because of illegal mining, to interview the kids on how they drink that water. The water is not just dirty, it has chemicals in it, and the chemicals you can't see it with your own eyes unless it's passed through certain due process. These children, when they are thirsty, they fetch that water. Villages is not like the city here where we take bottled water, we take pure water.
We use pure water to cook.
Yes, but outside that place they use water for everything. They use water to cook, they drink it, they do whatever with it. These children, with that, they scoop it and drink.
And then drink it.
Dirty like that.
And that is causing a harm to
causing a lot. And should I say the health practitioners also came out to say that with this mortality rate and deformities at birth is caused because of this thing. We feel that we are just mining to get our small golds, our small diamonds, our small whatever, but we should respect our water bodies. We should respect our mineral resources. That is why we have the small scale miners. You see, our small scale miners for no because tax no they have the license to operate legally, but with the galamseyers, see, this also boils down to unemployment. Because I believe that if this youth have a job like me sitting here, you have to wake up at dawn to prepare your files and come and sit here and present to the people. Who would have time to go and be indulging in illegal activities? We are preaching, stop galamsey now, stop galamsey now. What are we doing as individuals? What are we doing as government to make sure that stop galamsey now is really stopped? There's no job. God being so good, now the 24-hour economy would start. So with that, I'm sure that some illegal miners would have some job to do. But stop galamsey now and there's no job, they will continue doing it. They would continue doing it. So that's the little I can say. I'm in support of the tax that has been placed on the small scale miners.
But I think that it was a good move for them to, because people were asking, so if they scrap the 10% on the betting, the e-levy, the COVID-19 levy, the emission tax and other taxes, if they scrap those levies, how is government going to get revenue? How are they going to get money? That was the bashing people were given to the government right after the budget reading. But here lies the case. In the budget reading, we also noticed that, or we also heard that there's an increase in tax in the mining sector. But I think that the increase in tax in the mining sector may not curb Galamsey.
Yeah, true.
Effectively or something, but rather it's going to generate more revenue for the government, and these revenue can be used to restore our environmental and regulations as well.
I feel the question you asked in regards to how they'll be getting revenue, that is why they've reintroduced the toll booths. They wouldn't just wake up and just scrap something without them finding an alternative to it. See, with the toll booths, day in and day out, millions of cedars are being generated each and every minute, every hour. Even the pay we are taking here, within just 2 minutes, the money they are getting. So I feel that with the reintroduction of the toll booths and the tax on the the small scale miners, it would really help. It would really help.
Yeah. So that's the little concern we have for you today. Omari just joined us, so we are diving straight into the second segment of the breakfast show. Thank you, Miss Regina Bless.
Good morning, and thank you, Regina, for giving us that Good morning to our beautiful listeners. Good morning to everyone, wherever you are. For tuning in with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. It's a new week, it's a new day. Lots of stories to discuss here with you. With my able guest, Mr. Otre Beckson. Big boss.
Yes, sir.
How far? How far with the house?
Like someone will say, the journey is a long one, but once we did the tracking, we are still moving.
Nice. I don't think I've met you since the budget.
Yes, it's been a while. Sure. A bit.
How was the reading?
Well, first of all, let me take this opportunity to greet your cherished viewers and listeners, and then your very self, and my beautiful Isidam.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I think, by and large, the budget reading, as a norm, or so to put it, the usual that every year the finance minister must come to the House of Record to let Ghanaians know that this is the progress we're making as a nation, what is installed, what we are planning, what we are working at. So ideally, we're not expecting anything that extraordinary, but to let us understand what they also intend doing for us, or what they intend providing in the days ahead, or as the year is rolling in relation to that. So ideally, by and large, the very things we wanted to hear, they told us some, and some to
So it met your expectations?
Not 100% though, but
you know one funny thing. There is a surprise guest who will be joining us with the conversation right now.
Really?
Oh wow.
And I think he would have a very different opinion about your satisfaction with the budget reading.
Beautiful.
Very soon Dubik will be joining us in this.
Oh wow.
He's around, so he's getting ready.
Wow. Thanks.
But by and large, as you said it, and as AC asked you, I also want to make a follow-up question. What were the things that you were expecting that wasn't met in the budget?
You see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama made a laudable promises to Ghanaian during the campaign trail. So we were looking at it that as part of his budget reading, he will make concrete stance on some of those things. A typical example has to do with the Women's Bank. You know, we're expecting him to, as it were, inject huge amount of money, so to put it, to kickstart that business. You know, as part of the banking rudiment, there's an amount that you need to get to be able to start the processes from there. But look at the amount that he apportioned for such initiative or that move.
And you think it wasn't enough?
For me, yes. For me, yes. You understand? Because it's a flashy program that you re-echoed it on the campaign trail. You are going to empower our women. You get money to do their businesses here and there. Though he made us. It was clear as part of the budget reading. Yeah. But the amount of money, Sabi, yes, will be a bank. Maybe a 1 cedi now here now they are starting. That's all money 50 pesos. How does that, as it were, relate to whatever you intend doing? Sabi now say, oh, be my crocodile the John and but for me, it is early days yet.
Okay.
It is early days yet. Like I said, I have so much hope in this president, a lot, because they say he who much is given, much is expected. Okay. So this time, it will not be too early for me to.
Put it this way.
Okay.
Is it hope you have or expectations you have?
Both. I'm expecting much from him, and I hope that he delivers. Because honestly, the kind of experience he's having now, no politician has it.
Okay.
Master Webubu Mino, we didn't show more Jane Party Kofi, and Ghanaians overwhelmingly brought him back again. Okay. Nobody. So my hope and my expectation in him super.
But for the budget that was read, do you think it's a roadmap or is convincing enough to take us out of the economic crisis as they stated?
For me, it's a hopeful budget. A hopeful budget. And you see, this budget is one of the budget that was devoid of the so-called the jargon that will become with all manner of long talk. This is straightforward. You know, Atufos is a straight man, so things he does is straightforward.
Okay.
Honestly, I was in love with the budget that they brought, but as humanly as I am, and then putting on my analytical lenses, I have an aspect that I can equally punch holes within. That is why I'm also saying that by and large, it was a straightforward budget, very good, so to put it. Yeah. But I have a little reservation here and there in relation to some of the things that I think ought to be attended to.
Okay. Still with us on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Radio. Join us on all our platforms at Ghana Talks Radio, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X. You can also join us on WhatsApp 0202 544 614 0202 544 614. Our website is www.ghanatalksradio.com. www.ghanatalksradio.com. Let us hear from you. Let us get your views, your suggestions, your comments, and we will get interactive with you. So as I mentioned earlier, Mr. DeBig Stevens is also in the studios with us to share his thoughts on the various topics and discussions we're about to have. DeBig,
yes, sir.
You traveled to Dubai. You didn't tell anyone. This man is a bad man.
It feels good to be back here.
Very, very good to have you back as well.
I just decided to crash a party today.
I can see. and the table has been set perfectly for you because according to Mr. Ochi here, Bexon says the budget didn't really satisfy him.
I didn't listen to Mr. Ochi. I wasn't listening to him.
Okay, so
I just came in. So let's assume I didn't hear anything.
So let's assume I can be a concerned parrot today.
Okay.
Bexon says he didn't really enjoy the budget, like really? It didn't satisfy him.
Okay, he's entitled to his opinion, he's entitled to his views, and then he has the right to expect and then be satisfied.
Okay,
but as for me, I'm full.
You're full?
Yes. You want me to delve into the issues?
No.
Okay.
I won't give you that.
I think Ekonkwasa also told me his opinion on the Women's Bank and all that.
For that one, I mean, you can share your thoughts.
Okay, so I understand where he's coming from, but I think that we are getting the whole Women's Bank idea wrong and then the allocation very wrong. Okay, we have capital.
Okay.
And we have seed money. Okay. The seed money is not going to capitalize the bank.
Okay.
The seed money is going to lay the foundation, prepare
for the
for
capital.
capitalization.
Okay.
The seed money is going to go into like office space, consultants to work on the thing and all that.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
So in as much as a lot of people
Yeah.
have misunderstood or misconstrued what is in the budget, I understand that. But the whole issue of the issue is that
Yeah.
seed money is not capital.
Okay.
The Bank of Ghana would demand 400 million cedis to grant them a license to operate as a bank.
Okay.
And they allocated 51 million cedis for it, for the seed money.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So now the seed money is in, they're going to put the structures in place. And now the board, when set up, will now determine how to raise money
Okay.
and then get a Bank of Ghana approval.
Okay.
I hope you get me.
I'm trying to. I mean, I don't want to come between you and Mr. Ose this morning.
Oh, by the way, thanks so much for the objective analysis that he's done to the issue. Like I said, I'm highly impressed with the budget reading, but as the ordinary Ghanaian, I do have my reservation on some of the things.
Okay.
That's why I also came out with that. But notwithstanding the fact that the point he also laid to bear to me extremely explain things.
Wow.
Sure.
Wow.
But I like his suit. I like his color combination.
Thank you.
I'm a fashion person.
Thank
So
you.
I like people who dress nice.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
I like the way he looks this morning.
You haven't seen me, so you not complimenting mine.
I've seen you. I've seen your dapper shirt. Is it Burberry or what? What is it?
Oh, you can see.
It is Burberry, right?
Oh yes.
You're wearing a Burberry.
I'm wearing
You're looking dapper this morning.
Thank you. And I also like how you're always working with your traditional
At
outfit.
least Ghana month.
Charlie.
Yes, of course. Me, I'm a Ghana person.
Sure. You see you,
There's
Ghana
no place
month.
like home.
You see you, Ghana month, and giving us the Ghana.
That's why I went for vacation 2 weeks, but he's back.
Oh, come on.
Putting Ghana on the map.
Putting Ghana on
Yeah,
the map,
yeah.
Ghana has always been on the map.
But for some connoisseurs reasons,
Mm.
this time around you are putting in the right reasons.
Thank you.
So getting to the conversations this morning, we'll be looking at something that happened last week. There was a change in position in the Inspector General's post, the IGP of Ghana. The revered, the celebrant, as people call him, Ekufu Dampare, was substituted for that man. I don't know the right word to use for him, but he has this certain demeanor. You know, have you met him in person?
No.
He has a certain demeanor. Like you can have so many things to say to him, but when you meet him, you might not be able to.
Wow.
I see.
And he is actually taking the new position of the IGP post. And people are asking that why the change, because they felt that the previous IGP was up to task. Some may have their reservations and all, but others also think that he has actually put the police, the face of the police. He has given the police a different perception to the public as we used to see it before he took over. And so they don't really see why he should be changed. And is it because that they feel he is politically affiliated with the previous government? That is why they are changing him. And it bears to the ultimate question that particular position, is it being politically influenced, or it comes with some necessary changes that every government who comes for security reasons needs to make a change in that position? I will take Bexon first.
All right. Thank you, PK. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be the first. Neither is it going to be last that there will be a new government and then there will be a change in the police setup, especially the police hierarchy. And I keep saying this all the time, that most of the things in our constitution, most of the clauses also, to put it, have outlived its purposes, and there's the need to go through to make amends. Why am I saying this? Government goes, government comes. Deliberately or indeliberately, whatever the law might have been positioned, always want to temper on who becomes the next IGP.
Okay.
Because many are too about mommy. Power, every power has been centered in the hands of the president. So he determines who, like someone will say, he has the power to hire and fire.
Yeah.
Ono ne edi tumi na manto ono tu no tumi poni tumi say tumi no me de bia ma mare so gina fa koyewe. But if deliberately our clauses in the constitutions are really working, like a revered institution like our security, shouldn't be an order of the day for any president that comes to determine who becomes the next IGP. You leave the system for them to go through and automatically take over.
Okay.
But here's the case. Akufo-Addo comes. Remember that even prior to the coming of Dr. Akufo-Dampare, there have been Peter Namfori, SS Omane, just name them over time, and he has also come into play. So government comes, government goes, everybody wants to make his own appointment into who becomes IGP because we're a medium, I'm comfortable to work with. That is how our law, to me, has been. So over the time, everybody wants to pick an IGP that he's comfortable working with, meaning that we're a medium, turn over to me, I'm a burden, amame. But the question is, are we serving Ghanaians or we are serving political parties?
Okay.
You know, and then fast forward on this, I believe that there's always a shake-up when there is a new government in place.
Okay.
Both in the military hierarchy, the immigration, the prisons, the custom, just name them. But this time round, look at the kind of euphoria that these people are embracing the change that has come.
Now,
For
why
me,
do you think
it
so?
gives so much. It's very disturbing to me. It's a worrying situation. The reason being that this is not the first time we are changing IGP.
But this is the first time we are seeing jubilance.
And that is my worry.
And
that is my challenge.
From the police force.
That is my challenge because, like I reiterated earlier, he's not the only one. At least we've seen a shake-up in fire service, who is taking over prisons, and then immigration, one Basintelli man, and then now the IGP, that of the police. But how come that the police alone, there's high level of euphoria and enthusiasm among them? So the question brings to bear, was Dampare a dictator? Was he an oppressor? Just name it. In Tibia, for want of a better word, whatever negative that is associated with, they say finally is no more. Only in chamber, so we are happy. We have a new person who is staying their affairs. But trust me, the last resort that we can all fall on is our security system.
Okay.
It is a better to say NDC MPP. Because now remember that even the Dampare too had people around him that they also happy when he was there. Now he's left, they will go on the quiet. But they are serving Ghana. They are not serving political party.
Okay.
To the extent that even when he comes in and they will be throwing money. Look, it's a challenge because when that picture is painted, it means now you're having an NDC police and you're having an MPP police.
Wow.
And it will never augur well for our democracy.
It will never
that is me.
Well
it will never augur well for our democracy.
Put it by Bexon. Steve.
Yes, wow. His analysis is very in-depth. You know, but I would look at it from a different angle.
Okay.
I'm not doubting Dampare's competence. But I feel that Dampare was more of a PR than working as the IGP.
Okay. Why do you say so?
Him branding the police service is beautiful.
Okay.
If there's an issue, Dampare will be the first person to be there.
Okay.
You see his face in the public and all that. But where I depart from, where I don't have any problem with his sacking, is if you look at the Ghana Police Service since 2019, before he even became the IGP, there has been extrajudicial killings.
Okay.
And none, he wasn't able to investigate any of them.
I think
including even a policeman. Do you remember the bullion van robbery?
Yeah, I do.
They killed a policeman.
Yeah.
They arrested 2 other policemen. And miraculously, these 2 policemen they arrested have been the masterminds.
Wow.
Were the only people who were killed in a shootout when they took them to a place to identify other suspects. Isn't that weird?
Very weird. I mean, very alarming too.
Such if you are a leader of an institution and these things happens under you, and for 2 years you've not been able to, I mean, stamp your authority and then find the culprits of these crimes. You don't have any business running the institution.
And I even believe just recently, as the new administration took over, he was given an assignment to look into the
for me, I knew that he was going to be sacked.
Okay.
I posted it on my status 2 months ago. I posted 2 names, and one is a radio presenter. I posted Kwame Sefakai.
Okay.
Just wrote the name.
Yeah.
And then the next one I posted what? IGP Dampare. So somebody came into my DM and asked me, what has he done? I told the person that he is on his way out. You see,
why did you have such anticipation?
You see, when you are in this game for a very long time, you can smell things.
Okay.
And then as soon as he was given that task to investigate the killings in 2020, I knew it was going to form the basis for his sack. Even though they might not make it public, but they were just looking for a reason to sack him.
Okay. So you think that he didn't have what it took to...
I think he played the politics of his office more than the job itself. See, Akufo-Addo himself wanted to sack Dampare. That is what people don't avert their minds to. Dampare played Akufo-Addo by getting the tape with the COP who later that tape saved Dampare's job, because now the tape is out. If you sack him now, they will say it is because of elections. You are sacking him because you want somebody to come in and do your bidding for the elections. And if you remember, the NDC today that sacked Dampare yesterday or 3 days ago are the same people who pushed the matter and made sure a parliamentary committee was set up for the investigation. Why do you think the NDC did that, knowing very well they will come back and sack him?
Why did they do that?
They did that so to tie Akufo-Addo's hands so he cannot sack him. You get it? This thing, Dampare is a smart guy.
Okay.
He knew exactly what the nation wanted: a face, an image, and he presented that image to Ghanaians. Look at the promotional issues he was grappled with at the Ghana Police Service.
Okay.
He had issues.
Yeah.
So why do you think
saying
people
that he
jubilate?
was overlooking the right persons to promote
and even his appointment, people were overlooked to give him the IGP. Kofi Boakye is his senior.
Yeah.
This man who is now the IGP is his senior. You get it?
Yeah.
So I think that in as much as he was promoted or given the position of an IGP, I think people were ahead of him who could have been the IGP. He still have 5 years to retire.
But then, Duvik, this particular position, as we are discussing today, Do you think we should go in it with who has been it for long or who is more competent?
See, in the security agencies, whatever you do, it deals with the seniority.
Okay.
Seniority is everything in the security agencies.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how qualified, how unqualified you are. That's why if the security agencies feel that you've done something wrong, they will discharge you.
Okay.
Because they don't want you to carry that luggage or baggage to a position that you become senior and they can't overlook you for certain positions. So once you mess up, you are gone.
Okay.
That is how it is in the security agencies. And one clear departure I have with my brother, in as much as we will want efficient police service, even in advanced democracies, elected authority appoints the police chiefs.
But
Let's go to US.
Okay.
You see, when you go to the US, the mayor appoints
The security.
the police commissioner in the state. When you go to smaller counties, the mayor in that county appoints the sheriff. We find ways to abuse it.
Okay.
For us, we find ways to abuse it. Because, he's not my party member, because he's not my church member, because he doesn't align with me in certain ideologies. Let me get rid of him and bring somebody else. If we could use that discretion the Constitution gives the president properly, would have been the best. Because the president is the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
And even the police council is not headed by the vice president. We make that mistake to think that because you automatically becomes the vice president, you become the police council chair. No. The president will appoint you, whoever he wants, to be the police council chairman.
Okay.
It is not automatic that once you become a vice president, you are now the chairman of the police council. You know why that came about?
No.
Rawlings and Akar.
Okay.
When the initial 1992 constitution made it automatic for the vice president to become the chairman of the police council.
Okay.
But when that friction occurred between Akar and Rawlings, they decided that, look, if they allow that to go on, a vice president who has a problem with the president will one day decide that, let me use the police and revolt against the president and become president. He's already the vice president.
Yeah.
So if the president is killed or something happens to the president, he automatically becomes the president.
Oh, okay.
So that is when that law was amended, and now the president appoints the police council chairman.
Okay.
So a lot must go into these things. In as much as we want to have an efficient police service, we can't overlook the dangers of having an independent police service without some influence from the political class. It's very dangerous because he's not answerable to anybody.
Okay. Okay.
You don't elect the police people, the IGP. So if he becomes IGP and he does something wrong, how do we even make sure he resigns? Who forced him to resign? Who sacks him?
Well, but in all, do you think that Dan Parry carried out his service as per required or competently as the country needed of him?
When it comes to Brandon, changing the image of the Ghana police, Dan Parry is the best IGP I've seen in that regard.
Okay.
But when it comes to certain things, under Dan Parry, demonstrations never happened. It is the legal right of the people to demonstrate. You see, they will go, I sit with them, agree. 2 days to the program, they use interlocutory
tactics.
Yes, and injunction, no demonstration. If you do that amounted to the numbers MPP got in the elections.
Okay.
People couldn't vent. So they decided to use the ballot box, the ballot papers, to vent their frustrations. The whole of 2024, it's only NDC that was able to organize a successful demonstration. That demonstration, they went and bathed in the. Aside that, anybody that tried to organize a demonstration had a problem with the police. Look at the Democracy Hub.
Yeah.
They violated people's human rights. So for me, when it comes to branding, changing the image of the police service, Dampare is the best IGP I've seen in that regard. He started the Ghana Police channel.
Yeah.
It's a good initiative.
Okay. But when it comes to rule of law, you think that
no.
Okay. And what people actually demand of the police service, the rule of law,
Of
not
course.
PR, not
No.
branding and all. These are secondary matters.
Of
We are
course.
looking at the primary basic.
Even with the brand, with you see, they are conterminous.
Okay.
When you achieve a proper rule of law, when you do
It
things
brands
right,
you.
it brands you in a public, in a right light, in the public eyes.
Mm.
You get it. So I think that he focused on the wrong things.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so it is justifiable for
Yes,
him
of
to
course,
be
of
changed.
course,
Okay.
Of course.
Then-
I only have problem with the timing
Mm.
when he was changing. And I wrote this on my status. I don't know if you saw it on my WhatsApp status. You see, the NPP did a press conference
Yeah.
talking about, what do you call it? The budget.
The budget.
Criticizing it. The next minute, a new IGP was appointed.
So you
What
think
do you
it
think?
was a
Of
tactical
course.
play by the
The NPP thought,
NDC?
the NPP decided, brought PR into our politics. Huh?
And so the
And
now
now
the NDC are
is
showing
playing it
them-
better. I'm telling you. Look, the press conference.
And honestly speaking, I haven't heard any platform speak about the NPP's.
You see, now it's all about Dampare,
Dampare's change and all.
Dampare. But NPP talked about a lot of things in that press conference.
Wow. We will be looking to that.
Of
press
course, I have a
conference
lot
one
of things to
these days
say
when-
about that press
that,
conference.
Not today. but Yohonu, what do you expect from Yohonu?
Well,
What do you think Ghana needs right now in terms of a rule of law, and what do you think the newly appointed IGP should be focusing on, or what we should be expecting from him, or what we should be demanding of his position now?
well, you see, the concept of the rule of law always says that it is the law that rules and nothing else. So, as the IGP, the core mandate is to make sure that whatever he does is in accordance with the law.
Okay.
So, like my senior rightly said, the PR gymnastics here and there that possibly Dampare, showcased during his regime,
Yeah.
we expect him to depart a bit, or depart, or possibly bring his own innovative way, manner, ideas on board,
Okay.
to also have a full brand of who really he is, rather than doing things the old way. And like I said earlier, over years, people have taken this position and they've all left a mark one way or the other.
Okay.
So we expect him that as he's also stepping in the shoes, he must also be remembered for one or two things, what he stood for.
Okay.
So that is it. But you see, PK, my brother has really elaborated a lot,
Yeah.
and honestly, I side with him on so many of the submission he made. But going forward, I still want to reiterate a little point based on my earlier submission that
Okay.
it is about time we have to look at the aspect of our constitution that have outlived its purposes and then deal with it.
Okay.
Anytime we are done with the election, as if because the next IGP or the IGP then doesn't know his fate, whether he be me and I the fufroba. So let me just try to play the devil's advocate so that he be whom. So because as we speak till now, we have a constituency in Accra here, we've not been able to declare results.
Yeah.
And the police should just give protection to the EC. and they will do the needful.
Wow.
But Dampare was trying to save his job or whatever. He's not giving the needed resources or whatever to get this job done, and then we make progress. So I think going forward, sir, aspect na did to me, as president in some, Emma Oche, who become the next IGP. Him say, I should say, Emra, himself after this one takes over. The system will work so that I know that I've done my part. Irrespective of the government at play or the president at play, some time soon. ABCD, I need to go. A new face will come. Not necessarily for any political interference.
All right.
So I think for me, I will advocate for that.
It's a great advocacy, and I think we all should be adding our voices to it, so that the sanitization of these very critical positions will be maintained. Else, the influences coming in is a time bomb for us as a country.
Of course, I agree with my brother on this sense. You see, it's only in Ghana that after change of government,
head of institutions,
law breaks down. People can even go to the extent of trying to take public toilets. What do you
People doing things with impunity.
I heard something very funny in January that the Galamsey we are all fighting against. There was a certain reserve in a forest where Galamseyers were in mining. They were perceived to be NPP Galamseyers, and when change of government came, NDC Galamseyers went there to sack them and take over.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a pity.
The thing is that if we change government, it shouldn't be that system breaks down. And normally I think that it is the will to work that is not there. It has got nothing to do with whether the individual is not doesn't know his fate or something. Whether you know your fate or not, you are there.
So just work.
Do what is expected of you.
The position wasn't meant for you. Forever.
So one at a point, even if they don't change you retire.
Exactly.
So are you going to tell us that because I'm going to retire, there shouldn't be I won't work? No, you have to work.
Sure.
Even if you have an hour left, work. Do why you
were appointed there. Sure.
Of course.
Sure.
That's the only way to go.
Okay. But then, with the newly appointed IGP, what do you expect of him?
Well, normally I try to temper my expectations when it comes to these things. Okay. I wish him well.
Okay.
I wish he does well. And I also wish myself that I don't fall foul to the law in any way. But I would want to believe that he has been close to the IGP position.
Okay.
He knows where the last IGP got it wrong.
Okay.
He should improve on that and get it right.
Okay.
That's all I have.
He should improve on that and get it right. Still with us on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Radio, as we are getting into some more discussions along the line. During the conversations, we are expecting your comments, your suggestions and everything, and we will get very interactive with you as well. Now, the budget reading, I mean the NDC's budget reading, not the real state of the budget or something that the NPP called it. The government budget reading made so many changes in alignment to some of the promises that the government gave before assuming power. And one of those changes was the abolishment of e-levy. Now, we all know what brought about e-levy. Even before its introduction, some of the things that the concerns people raised about it and the justifications that it also came up with. Because every country is being run by taxes. And the projection of the e-levies tax was attractive. Let me put it that way. 600 million. But we realized that it couldn't even achieve up to 10% of the projection that was given to it. Subsequently, we barely saw any account of what was being made out of the e-levy. Government promises, or a party promises, that if I should assume power, I'm taking this levy off because it's a burden on the citizens. Already they are not earning much. Now they are being burdened with such a task that we don't really see its strength and all. And so they scrap it. Now concerns are being raised. Government says economy is in a bad shape. We need money. E-levy is an avenue for revenue. You are scrapping it off. How does this balance?
You see, sorry, PK, the advanced countries strive on taxes, like you rightly said.
Yeah.
And as a developing nation, we can't just sit down, fold our arms, and the manna will start falling from above. The little that we'll be doing, we need SAD and no credit.
Yeah.
They take taxes out of it. But trust me, how this e-levy thing came about, was there a broader consultation? Did Ghanaians really understood what it really, because the intent was positive, perfect.
Okay.
How were we able to communicate it to the ordinary Ghanaian? Because now we have so many people that they are more or less swayed by the tax net. Okay. Because to me, I'm funny your man to tuna queen. So out of a blue moon, just brought e-levy buying. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So there should have been proper engagement for the people to really understand what the policy is about. Because when you say there was opposition here and there, into me here and there. But today, take it or leave it, that has become a backbone in most of the things we do. And to me, to me, pushing your mind. So the e-levy was a good move.
Okay.
But how were we able to communicate and get it implemented properly for the ordinary Ghanaian?
So you believe that the communication of it to the people wasn't rightly done?
Because for me, look, even the government that even brought it along the line, there was more or less like a confusion in their midst.
Really?
And then you have your own running mate who is telling you that Ninya power number me while the power was with you already.
Did Baumia say that?
Yes.
I thought it was a betting text.
He didn't agree on the e-levy. 1G e-levy now, and even at cabinet. We had all these things.
But I still have pictures of their party, the cake they did for. Baumia was there.
That is why I am saying that. You see, that have you seen where the confusion lies? It's even among who are buying out the buy and the crampono. You couldn't communicate it clearly, and it was confusion among you. How does the ordinary Ghanaian embrace it? Remember, you see, just as the hunter will want to shoot without missing, no? The bird too. What I say, into all this initiative whereby and I want to communicate meaningfully to the ordinary Ghanaian, they also find means to be able to swerve it. Remember that when we were following the time, people too were showing how you can best swerve the e-levy when you are undertaking transaction here and there.
But it didn't work.
I withdraw the money, like if I want to send you the money, if I'm withdrawing, e-levy doesn't catch me. If I'm sending it directly to you, from a merchant to you, the e-levy doesn't catch you.
So you see,
so you see, instead of sending the money directly to you, I just go.
Obi to cash out there, may control the allow cash out.
Cash out.
But meanwhile, we need money to, and like I'm saying, we couldn't properly put measures in place to even explain this policy to the ordinary Ghanaian, to even embrace it, so that we could have achieved the intended purpose.
Okay.
And quickly, just as they move, the then transport minister or whatever said, "Oh, we've cancelled Road 2 because the e-levy about say the e-levy."
So was the e-levy able to achieve what it was intended to? The big.
Okay. So the e-levy projections. Let me start from there. I don't know if it is intellectual dishonesty or a bona saving phobia. You see, as we are in this room,
Yeah.
if I send my brother 300 cedis, the money in the ecosystem is 300 cedis. But if he pushes the 300 cedis to you, the transactional amount goes from 300 cedis to 600 cedis. But the actual amount still remains 300 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
So if I now do calculations based on the 600 cedis and say because 600 cedis has gone through the transaction, I'm going to get 6 billion cedis, and don't factor in that in as much as the transaction is 600 cedis, the actual money is 300 cedis. I'll be getting my projections wrong.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yeah.
So they sat down and calculated the amount of transaction or the money that goes through the transaction without calculating the actual money that is within the system. That's why e-levy failed to generate the projected figures they were talking about.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting.
But you see, they were not humble enough to listen.
But did anyone tell them this?
Of course, people told them. Yes, I think I posted these things on my Facebook page a couple of times.
Sure.
But nobody listened. What did they do? They did town hall meetings, thinking the VAT procedure, the VAT status will work. You know, one thing about industry is that you don't tax a growing industry. You don't tax an industry you are trying to encourage people to get into. You are saying that we should go cashless. Printing money is expensive. And that we should send the money. But if I go with you to a supermarket to buy something, you decide to pay cash, you don't pay e-levy.
Yes.
I decide to pay electronically, I pay e-levy. What do you think I'll do the next time?
You also pay cash.
Who suffers? The money you get from the tax, you're going to spend that same money printing another money, because people will leave the platform and go to the cash platform, which is very bad for our economy.
What do you think should have been the system for running the e-levy?
The e-levy shouldn't have been paid by the ordinary people.
Okay.
The e-levy should have been paid by the telcos. That percentage they take when you send money should have been where the government should have taken taxed the e-levy from.
But that one you can't even swerve it.
Because if they are taking you 1 cedi, they give the Momo vendor, I think something about 1.5 or something percent of the 1 cedi. The rest go to them. Government can also say, give me 3% of that money you are taxing. Because the government built the interoperability system. It's not the telcos.
Yeah.
The government built it.
Yeah.
So you can even make it as a tax component for you to take care of the interoperability system that they are using. And this wouldn't have been limited to the telcos alone. It could have gone through banks.
Yeah.
The commission they deduct you.
Yeah.
The government can take. I say I save with the bank, and sometimes they can charge me for card maintenance 7 cedi 50 pesos. Card maintenance, my card maintenance.
It's very true.
So the government can tax these kind of monies, take these monies, and instead of coming to me, the ordinary Ghanaian, who is sending 200 cedis to my sick mother in a half or so, won't have that burden to pay any tax on top of that. You know, I earn salary, I'm taxed. I take the salary out of my bank to put it on my Momo.
I'm taxed.
I send the money to my brother to buy something, I'm taxed. Abba, why? You see, in as much as we agree that a developing country needs taxes to grow, Ghana is not a country that would have needed those kind of taxes to grow if we had done our things right. If we had continued with industrialization, of course we would have taxed, but the taxes would have been on the industries, not the individual persons.
Okay.
Of course, when we sit down, we say, oh, the informal sector it's not being taxed. The informal sector, they're not paying. What has the country done for the informal sector? You decide that a whole country like Ghana decide that they want to equip their youth, and they focus on just free education. So you expect me to go find 4,000 cedis, go pay a master to be apprentice for a carpenter, then you pay school fees for somebody to go through secondary school, and when we are done, after me paying 4,000 cedis and him paying nothing, you expect me to come and still pay tax? I won't pay.
Okay.
So if we want to build a country, we shouldn't be focused on just one side. You know, if it is a policy for the children, if it is policy for the youth, it should cut across every person. It should cut across the formal and informal sectors of our educational system. But we are focusing on only the formal. Me, I know everything about farming. I didn't learn it in school. My father taught me because my father was a farmer. That is another form of education. But Ghana, the akote brofona.
The akote brofo system. But gentlemen, ultimately, was e-levy a failed policy, or the abolishment of e-levy was just a necessary measure too?
I think the way we went about it, we didn't do broader consultation. We failed to bring in the stakeholders to bring their maximum input, do thorough consultations here and there to get it implemented.
The stakeholders did an input. The government just didn't listen.
Okay.
The Chamber of Telecommunications advised the government at that time that he should tax the telcos instead of the citizens.
What maybe government realized that the telcos are not as many as the citizens, so
do
they
you know how much MTN alone makes in a year on these Momo transactions? If the government taxes 10% of that,
10% is too much.
You are taxing MTN 10% and you're saying
it's too much.
Really?
Come on.
Oh, me, for those international corporations, I don't.
You don't pity them.
10% share. You call credit. How much do you buy call credit? How much do you buy data? And they are taxing them 10%. You are crying. Oh, come on. 10% is okay.
So I think we just didn't get things right from the word go, and that is what we are all suffering for it today.
Okay.
So going forward, we just have to do the needful around it, because it's a laudable policy, it's a good policy, but we should have put things in place perfectly to roll it, so that at least we can achieve the target that we've set for ourselves as a nation.
Okay.
But you see, we didn't do it that way. That is why we are struggling with it even till today.
Okay.
And then we intend so to put it to even play politics around it. Maybe but say I don't know she na ebeboa with omani puntu ne any omani koso onko adia. Everybody will embrace it.
So in your words, do you think that we should have just restructured it instead of abolishing it?
And you see, my good brother Jibril has elaborated much on certain things, like rightly money will come, my salary I'm getting deduction from due to whatever, withdraw, go to the supermarket. Why don't we have more like a well structured kind of? Because sika ba kona you are burdening the ordinary Ghanaian. Let the person understand it that this is once I am taking this as a result of that, so that I have also ubenya ha kakra. Basanko sana as a little na osansu jinomo so eyusu odon sa left ama and now the right now cottage the was on the right now kwakoje. You are robbing Peter to pay Paul. Where lies even the kind of enthusiasm that the people will use to embrace such move and then such initiative? So let us come clean, let us come clear, communicate it meaningfully. Let's put better structures and plans in place and roll it. And ordinary Ghanaian will accept it.
Okay. It seems that Ghanaians are not really difficult people. You just need to let us understand whatever policy you are enrolling is about, and we will gladly go with it.
And you know what? When you push things in their throat, they will keep quiet. And they'll come and they'll go and punish you at the polls. I did one my auntie here, and because we are buying tin or they are fair 4 years best. I get they are easier to go, but one won't say the rationale behind whatever you are doing.
Okay.
They will understand you and they will get going with you.
Okay.
But I quite 7 I may have buying and I'm so to whether they be a baby, you can't and no money. We told them, and they think they are. And today we have showed them where power lies.
The cake was big.
Even every cake has some now become.
Now, what do you name him? The hyphenated cake. The hyphenated.
Yeah.
You need 11 in
It's me the birthday. It will celebrate your birthday. You see, that's the nation we find ourselves. But all said and done, let's. Like I always say, we are a developing country. Until we look up to those who have taken the lead. Where they fell short, let us correct it on our part and then get it right.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Because we always say that, the life of Singapore, Malaysia, we started crying with them, and where are they today?
Now they are
because deliberately we can study some of their policies that took them to where they are.
Okay.
And then we also get it right.
Okay.
The matter that we always do that, we get it wrong, get it right. It doesn't help. Let's pay for people to think and then get that right and informative kind of things to grow as a country.
Okay.
The
Matra is not helping us. The big.
For me, e-levy as a tax handler, with the form it was, would never make sense to me.
Okay.
I don't know the kind of tax that is.
A Draculian tax.
Is it the income they are taxing or what? I don't get it.
Honestly, sometimes you can make a transaction and you realize, go forget maybe 17 cities. But 17 cities to me sorting me go be like three seasons. Like 3 seasons. What free minim rather minim the NT.
For me, e-levy in its current form or the states they introduce it will never make sense to me. Regardless of you can do all the consultations in the world.
Yeah. It
will not make sense to me. You get it?
Yeah.
If I use my ATM, do you tax me for that?
So why is it that it's only about mobile transactions that they were focused on?
At a point, the government became greedy. They became greedy because of course, e-levy was a non-starter. And you see, the engagement they were doing, they weren't explaining things. They were justifying why we need e-levy. Explanation is different from justification. They are two different things. So you could see they organize town hall meetings. They go, we are going to use this amount to do U-Start. How many people did the U-Start help in this country? How many people?
I think that's one of the basic reasons why our parties or governments, successive governments, just implement whatever they want and move, because we don't make them account for.
My brother made a fantastic point on the what do you call it, VAT. See, when VAT was coming around 95, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Do you know what the Rawlings administration did?
No.
They reduced the tax.
Okay.
They took it back. And then reintroduced it 2 years after. 2 years, 1997. 2 good years after. Do you know what they did to make Ghanaians accept it?
No.
They added Get Fund. And to me, as I'm here with you, if you are asking me the social intervention That is the biggest, even bigger than health insurance.
Yes.
I'll tell you that it is Get Fund. Go to every educational government institution in Ghana and see if you don't see a Get Fund project there.
Yeah.
That was what they did to make Ghanaians understand and buy into it. And when Ghanaians understood and bought into it, they saw the project they used Get Fund money for.
And the
Can you pinpoint what they use e-levy
for? At least for Get Fund,
you can
the
for
cake.
value for money.
I saw the cake.
That's
not cathedral.
You see, it's very interesting.
That's not cathedral too.
You cannot pinpoint anything meaningful, and they've charged e-levy for almost 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was a failed policy. It was a non-starter. It shouldn't have been something the government should have even considered in the first place.
Wow.
And I'm glad these people say that they are going to cancel it,
Okay.
and they are trying to cancel it.
Has it been cancelled or?
Of course, it will go through an appropriation bill. The Parliament will have to pass a bill, and when that bill is passed, it will annul the bill that made it a tax handle. So I think they are still going through the process. I'm not sure if they are done or not. But even when they are done, the GRA, it will take time, some weeks for the GRA to kind of actually withdraw everything. You know, some of these machines that deduct the taxes are automated. You have to recalibrate them to stop it. But I would expect that it wouldn't take long. Once it was announced in the budget, they should have taken steps
ahead of all these things.
Of course.
Before.
So I'm just hoping that it doesn't take long.
Okay. Still with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show with the Big Steven and Otre Bexon. Join the conversation. Let us hear from you. You can join through our WhatsApp line 0202-544-614 and all our social media platforms at Ghana Talks Radio. Gentlemen, I am looking for something. I would need your help, your assistance. I'm looking for the caterer who baked the e-levy cake. Next week is my birthday.
Okay.
I want to hyphenate my age and my name.
That wouldn't be a problem. Why not?
They were
in the perfume.
Yes.
They were sitting by the table. Seated by the table. E-levy.
With green.
White. With green. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Green.
I'm going to be video.
When you want to take Ghanaians for a ride, they will know when to strike.
The Youth Employment Agency, which has also had a new head of that institution in the person of Malik Basintali. And I remember so many questions that was raised by his appointment, because people felt that Malik is too immature, put it that way, for such a position. People also felt this is just to satisfy party loyalists, because they felt there were people who were much more competent to hold this position. Fast forward, Malik engages in some substantive initiatives. People still find ways to criticize it. Last week, he launched. He announced that the YEA has created 2 apps, one for job seeking and one for hiring, one for I don't know how it works, but I mean it's a two-way thing. Into what about ko be hwehwe adwuma ba ko nso wo de be pay adwuma yefo. And then I remember one guy who criticized Malik's appointments, rushed and through his justification in regards to this announcement that I said it. Because you can achieve this particular feat with just one app. So why create two? Secondly, the YEA has a website. So you just have to advance the website in a manner that it can accommodate this initiative that you want to implement. So why spend money creating apps and all that? And even the app, why INC? What is the necessity? And then Malik says that the app comes at no cost. That is his justification.
Let me start with this one.
Let's start.
See, I like Malik's zeal, his vibrancy. I like it, but this, excuse my language, is stupid. Excuse my language, with all due respect to him, it is stupid. We live in a country where people created COVID apps. Nothing came out of the COVID app. The YEA has a website. You can even if you don't want to use the YEA website for this, you can create a single website or a single app for that. Have you ever seen LinkedIn having a separate app
for hiring
and separate app for job seekers? Have you seen that? So where did he see this happening that he wants?
Well, he is trying to be advanced.
Advanced with what?
Technology.
It should be simplified. If I want a job, I should go there and find a job. If I need a worker, I should go there one place and find a worker. Why must it be separate as job seekers and then what do you call it? Employee seekers.
But okay, you make
it doesn't make any sense. It is just, you see. Let me say this in Chi. What I say? Malik, whether he likes it or not, is a target of many. And these things, I promise you, can land him in jail when a new government comes. Especially when he builds the app and it doesn't work. They can charge him for causing financial loss to the state.
But he says that the app comes at no cost.
Who like, how do you know? Who is creating the apps? And I think they will just, somebody, an IT person will just sit down, buy a domain, register the domain
for free,
and be maintaining it for as long as
for free. Of course, something will, you either take commission on payment or something. If you get a job through the app, you take a certain commission, and just like how Uber and Bolt works, something like that will happen. Because no IT person will waste their time, resources, and build an app for you for free. Something must give. And he sees a vibrant young man. He has a bright political future. He shouldn't mess it up with unsound decisions at the YEA.
You see, people were, right when he made the announcement, people were like, you know what, this is not needed. And as a listening government, I think they were expecting him to listen, but he kept trying to justify the entire initiative and all. Do you think that, as you said, he's a target of many?
Yeah.
Do you think for that reason he's trying to save face, be accepted by these many that have targeted him in the way that they think he's not competent enough to be heading such a position?
You see, in this world, yes, a dumb and this or something. Okay, I nearly said it in a different way. So when you sit down and you want to please everybody, this is what happens. At the point they even said you don't have a master's degree, so you're not qualified to be a CEO or whatever. When you were going to the office, you went there with a barrage of motorbikes just to announce your presence at the office. And you think you wouldn't be a target? There are people in this world, once you become a target to them, you are still
Of course.
So when you get there, do the right things. Consult. I don't know Malik Basintali to be an IT person. I don't know him to be an IT person. If he's an IT person, I don't know.
Okay.
But decisions like this, don't just meet somebody who wants money. Find somebody who doesn't even have interest in the issue. Discuss it with the person. The person will give you an advice. Bro, don't do this. Do it this way. I think if you do this, it will conflict with this and this and that. So let's do it this way and it will work out. But no, because social media and Facebook is available to many. Once they conceive the plan, they don't even check on the feasibility and its acceptance. They just come and then put it out there. Excuse my language. That's two apps thing. If it is one app, I might agree, but two apps is stupid.
Two apps is stupid. Beg.
Well, thank you. I think my senior Jibril has said it all.
The name is not Jibril.
It's Dubik.
Dubik, sorry, Dubik. Sorry.
He's trying to do the madam thing.
Thank you, Dubik.
Oh, I'm even happy. Yes, now you can't tease me with that thing. I'll also tease you with this.
Yeah. So he said it all. But you see, I will always advocate for the fact that if the youth are always given the chance, they have a point to prove and to make. But remember that somebody sat there before you came. And no matter how I'll be you my jumano, or tenu aso na se okwa, ni pafofro beba no beba bebo echire based on a juma we. So don't leave traces where they will easily be coming after you when power turns.
Okay.
I love Malik Basinteli each day, anytime, because I always say that whilst some were on the platform dancing Sisifia, Malik, Pablo, and others were on grounds marshalling forces to bring power, and they brought power. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been good to him. So don't mess up with the goodwill that has been given to you. Don't dare. Because he who much is given, much is expected. So if he say ne, ona oti say konyan mu, nti obetumi aye ne opa, obeye ne ope from into other. Emre be beso obeso re fi say konyan so, e be ba bebo akire. Say ne oye no ye ne kwan so ana. Because this app thing, are you telling me say e be ni ho and you are the one introducing it entirely new? Na say bi wo ho a edin ade na wo de be hyema e be meet the kind of standard a wo hia na etumi ama wo deliver. There should be value for money. Sabi aban bi etwa mu na efi say he was not giving value for money based on the one na no aye ni nyoma bi nti na eto abatia no. Say na waba na Ghana for enya wonuma dom e de adom wa. Serve them and serve them diligently.
Serve them and serve them diligently. But don't you think that Ghanaians are just talkatives? What if this app turns out to actually, okay, what should we be looking at in the first place? The benefit of the app. We should give it time. I mean, it benefits the youth. People are actually getting what the app intended for us to get from. Is it not that what we should be looking at, or just the intention of him coming up with an app?
Tell me, the initiator, Ono Mumpa, has he been able to come with clarity on this? He being the initiator, clarity ben or their brain on this.
Sunday I can say two apps. Bako be mawo juma, bako so be mawo nipa onboye juma.
You see, and the meeting metuma ko ware be 6 na bi ama my explanation o. Because me badjo ada esi ni sisi ye ne ya. E benada dey am I active. Uku ada you say, what is this? No, are you getting my point?
I do.
Look, when we give them the room, they will justify the rationale behind everything why they want to do or they are doing. Remember that anya usika o, ayo money sika. So sadenti na kasa there should be value for money anytime you are making use of BBI or money sika near there. Because Malik, you are not going to be allowed that you should use your salary to go and take this move. Obejo salary pepepe. Into me also dey ba no. bisa ho say okọ boardroom no what of what essence is this bringing? Say be obi o dada.
Yeah.
Na bi o dada dey ade betumi aye dey improve to get the quality or whatever the standard that we want.
Yeah.
It's not because Sabi you need to do something because uti akonya mu at that time. No. It's good to be innovative, but some of your things you are doing must fall in line with what is right.
Okay.
Because I always say that as politicians, you always have a day of judgment. Oh.
Sure.
You will be doing things anyhow, and then change of government will come, and they'll start hunting for you. They'll start coming after you. I don't think oh yeah, my idea with Kokosia. And you see, the piano when power comes a tom ribia, when say say 2 minutes for free. Na who say 2 minutes be na nya you no upon you 2 minutes be the man so fasom. Because I don't think His Excellency can leave Jubilee House and come to YE that he's come to stay affairs there. Yeah. So once you are there, you are representing him. Whatever you do, the good, the bad, the ugly. He takes the glory, he takes the shame.
Okay.
Me, I don't want to be too early to condemn him on this.
Okay.
But he should come clear on this thing. Because myself, I'm not clear. Like when Tias here, I'm not getting it.
Okay.
He should come clear on this. Because it's the taxpayers' money here. There should be value for the money.
He says it's free.
It's free. But there's no free goodies anywhere. There's no Father Christmas anywhere.
Sure.
What are you telling me?
Sure.
So please, Malik, my humble advice to you, as a brother or whatever, is that today you are seated in that seat. Obi betina ho and son awoba. Inti nyoma ni bi a tiasia. Go back to those people that have John Kuma of blessed memory might not be there, but I think Ofosu, what could see like the lives of the people that have mined the place are there.
Okay.
They have a lot under their sleeves. You have a team of competent people around you.
Sure.
Even though you are the leader, you show the way. But normally we will build a broader consultation to do what is right.
To do
and yes, sir, who get it wronger, Ghanaians will come after you, and they will come and lash you, lambast you, and then they are casting you na ban for us about also.
Okay, okay, and that is what both gentlemen had to say on the issue with the YEA's two-way app creation for job seeking and for
it's not a
employee hiring.
It's not a two-way app. If you say two-way app, it means
it's a one app doing two things.
No, it's not a two.
Well,
it's a two different apps.
Two different apps.
Doing two different.
Are they?
Look, there's a little that I will add to this. I mean, Malik Basintale, you are one of us as a youth. Most of us even know you as the youth.
Let me say something funny. What's happened to the creative app? I never send any new receive.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Hey, Charlie.
Not crazy. You receive. When you two as
you see, you start a mini nonsense. Excuse my language. It shouldn't be like that.
So, yes, Mr. Basintali, you are one of us. As a youth, most of us even hail you as a youth president. One of the things that your party coming to power made us understand was how a listening government you were going to be. Paying forward, yes, you are the head of that position, of that institution. We acknowledge that. But then, a government by the people, for the people, this is where we come in. You are doing this to help we, the people. We, the people, are telling you in ways that this is not really necessary at this moment. It is not too late at all. It is barely a week that you came up with this idea. Please, we beg you. You can easily restructure it in a better form. So many suggestions have been made regarding this particular app creation. Kindly do us this favor of giving us a listening ear. No need to justify it in any ways. We admire your vigor, your charisma to do something for the youth, and we appreciate that. But we are also here calling for your listening ear. That's it. This application, as many has put it, as many has suggested, that you can do it in a much better form. Kindly listen to it, and we all will move forward. We know what you are trying to achieve for us and with us, and we acknowledge that. Let us have a straight motive, an aligned motive, and you will continue to have our support. There's a little I will have to say to the Honorable Malik Basintali, wherever he's listening to us. We still commend you for all the work that you are doing, trying to get into initiatives with other stakeholders, companies to, but just recently he was able to go in partnership with G4S security
services.
Yeah, so we commend you on all that.
Yes.
All we are saying is that there's another way that you can do much more. Yeah. So that is it for what we had to say about the YEA. But so far with the people that the president appointed into some positions, what do you make of them so far? It's early days, but do you think they've justified the president's confidence in them, or their way of justification?
For me, it's early days yet, but then the kind of energy I'm seeing in all those people shouldn't fail the youth.
Okay.
Because the president has made a bold decision for the ordinary Ghanaian to be part and parcel of whatever goodies he's preparing ahead. So the lives of Erika J, Malik Basintelli, Pablo being the youth minister, just name it. They have a lot to offer us and to change the narrative among us. So kudos, His Excellency, for giving hope for the Ghanaian youth. And whilst you guys are there, he who much is given, much is expected. His Excellency has given much, and we are expecting much from you. So even though it is early days yet, but the kind of dress rehearsal that is ongoing, we hope for the best. That they should deliver, and to make the president proud, and we the youth of Ghana too proud.
Are you just going to ignore the fact that Oforiatta has sued the OSP?
It is not part of our conversation today. See, Dubik is acting like this man, Martin Pebu. I don't know if because Martin is a lawyer and Dubik is on his way becoming a lawyer. In fact, even if we are talking about a cake, he will find a way to drag the previous government. Why?
That is how it should be. Abi.
Why?
As a learned person in the making, there you must always test the waters,
so
how things are going.
I'm just going to ignore the fact that
we are ignoring it. Yes, we are ignoring. That man says you traumatized him and his household.
No, the suits are different, two different suits. I understand he has sued the national security. That's when he's talking about the trauma and all that. He has now sued the OSP for declaring him wanted.
But why should you declare him wanted? Did he tell you he has run away?
But Dubik, Sebi, I can.
Did he tell you he has run away?
I can phone baby say Sebi in Kwasia 17 AC police station. It's only a person tested the waters with some of these antics. You should go ahead. And in a court in order.
I find this to be. I find it to be. And delay taxes. You get it. Lawyers do that a lot. You see, he himself told the OSP that he will be back around 10. He will report to the OSP on 2nd of June. So if this case drags beyond 2nd of June, he won't be in the country, and he will use the court processes as an excuse. But one thing I want to ask is that did the OSP breach any law declaring him wanted?
Personally, I don't have any law background.
Okay, so let me tell you, he didn't breach any law. The OSP doesn't need court order to declare you wanted. You see, you remember the Airbus scandal?
Yeah.
Mr. Akufo-Addo himself reported the former president and the people involved in the Airbus scandal to the OSP. That time it was Martin Amido. Do you know what Martin Amido did?
No.
The people who went in the jurisdiction, the people who went Ghanaians, he declared them wanted and even went ahead to place them on Interpol Red Notice list.
Okay.
Ken Ofori-Atta was the finance minister.
Yeah.
He didn't see anything wrong with that because no budget. This double standards and it's nauseating.
Well, if he has,
they say
no
you are a
business,
suspect. If me, as it stands now, if I come here and you tell me that you came to the studio and then one of the cameras got lost and we suspect that it is in your bag, I'll just carry my bag wherever I reach. I'll come here. If I know I didn't take it, I just come. This is my bag. Oh, I beg, open them. Check, give me. If it is in it, take it. If it is not, let me go. Just to clear my name. You get it? My father told me this story about one military man who was executed during the coup d'etat. See, they said the military man had retired, but he was in the village, his village in what do you call it, the Volta region.
Yeah.
Then he heard they've organized a coup, and then he was charged of a crime. His family said, since you are close to Togo, run to Togo. The man said, no, I'm not a coward.
Yeah.
I'll come to Accra, face my accusers, and prove my innocence. Do you know what happened to the man?
No.
The man came and he couldn't prove his case. So he was killed. But that is integrity.
Yeah. He would rather die with the truth than
run
with a lie.
That is integrity. Once you agree to take a government position to serve the people, you must also come with the mindset that you will be asked to account for your stewardship.
Okay.
So when the time comes for us to ask you to account, don't be running, finding ways and means to dodge.
So you think he's just playing?
That's what they are doing.
Oh,
that is all what they are doing.
Okay.
And you know, in the late 80s, when JJ was the head of state, national security apparatus was following a man called Captain Koyochi Kata. I don't know if you've heard this. One judge decided to go to court to ask the court to ban the national security of following Captain Koyochi Kata. Do you know what the court told the judge?
No.
The court told the judge that no court in Ghana has the right to bar a security agency from doing their job, from investigating, from protecting. So if the security agency feels that, Mary, your life is in danger, they have every right to follow you and make sure they preserve your life.
Okay.
And if they feel you've committed a crime, they have every right to investigate you, invite you, arrest you.
Okay.
By following due process.
Okay.
So what is Ken Ofori-Atta trying to do? To the extent that he is seeking an injunction on the OSP, barring the OSP from declaring him wanted or even investigating the matter further. Does this make any sense?
His time will come.
I successfully introduced the topic and discussed it.
We will discuss it. We'll discuss it. That's not today. But then, I have a question. Is there a freeze on public recruitment? That government can't recruit or employ anyone into the public sector?
I think the news is out there, but there's a freeze from the finance minister.
So, same government promises to come and absorb us from this unemployment hiatus, and same government places a ban on employment. Is that so?
You see, this is not new. I think in 2023, Honorable Kanuforiata did the same.
Okay.
For me, they can best come and give us the rationale behind this move that both NDC do and then the MPP too has been doing same. Because the core hope of every Ghanaian, especially those that have been to school, that are not possibly entrepreneurs, so to put it, wants to be employed. They need job.
Okay.
And government is the first hope before whatever private sector or any other body too comes into play.
Yeah.
But in an instance whereby we come and then there's always a freeze on employment, a ban on employment, we need to know what the books are saying, which is informing that decision on the part of government of the day. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised us a 24-hour economy, that job was going to be in abundance, 3-shift system. Some will come in the morning, afternoon, and then the night. So like job was going to be in abundance.
Yeah.
So what is changing now? That people have to lose their jobs, or even not losing their jobs, there's a ban on employment. So I think they need to come clear what the books are saying, because there will surely be a reason behind as to why such a move or such initiative is being embarked on.
Okay.
So that we all have a straight path to chart, or possibly we can all accept the reality that you are giving us.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will be like I didn't know buying for be about let's say you hold on with employment and so on. So
what are some of the consequences that this particular freeze of employment have on us as a people, as an economy?
Because for me, when there's job, even when people have jobs doing, they help grow the local economy. Because I have a wife to take care of.
Yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
My wife will go to the market, she'll go and buy. Ono wato ade no nipa nso obeton ade no so enya bibi odi kofie akohwefe. So the rippling effect will all help grow the local economy.
Sure.
Remember, a hungry man is an angry man. No one susu ni adwuma ni bi no must make sure that there is something to put body and soul together.
Okay.
Until whether by hook or by crook, he must survive, he must eat to put body and soul. Until say adwuma ho na legit adwuma ano so ebetumi na ho de akoye bibi na wetumi afa na adwuma no so etumi enya aduane ekosi table so to satisfy the family.
Yeah.
That is the way to go.
That is the way to go.
So I think by and large,
Yeah.
they should let us know the reality, like what always informed that move on the part of every government.
Okay.
They'll be a freeze employ. But Benny, they'll do that. But by the time the 4 year will exhaust, still on the phone call for it.
Okay.
Even some through the back door, whatever. If you walk out, be to be boss. No, Charlie, a corner will no form with me.
Okay.
But then the freeze is there, but
Yeah,
come
so
clear.
good.
Let us know what always inform the move on your part.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Dubik.
Yes. The freeze is part of the IMF conditionality.
The IMF conditionality.
Yes.
That the previous
We
government.
took it to them and told them that look, we won't employ public sector workers.
We as
A nation, a state.
okay.
I'm
I wasn't
I'm
part
not
of that
limiting-
decision.
No, I'm not limiting it to MPP or NDC. I said we because it was a government decision.
Okay.
They told the IMF that we won't employ public sector workers apart from the essential workers who are the nurses, who are the teachers, who are the police or the security agencies. Aside that,
Okay.
To cut down cost, I'm coming. To cut down cost. And IMF for G2. And then in 2023, Oforiata announced it in the budget. You see, the double standards of our politics is some way. Oforiata announced it in the budget. The budget was approved in 2022 and it took effect on January 1st, 2023.
Okay.
So if the people who raised the issue, who are majority, who are MPP MPs, they should tell us when that ban was lifted and in which budget they lifted that ban. Because once you write something in the budget and it's approved by the House, the Parliament, if you want to cancel that thing or lift it, you have to take that same thing to Parliament and let them cancel it. If you allow it, leave in the budget, the previous budget, and you don't take it to the Parliament for it to be rescinded or rectified, you cannot just by a stroke of pen say that That's why Amwakwata found himself wanting when he unilaterally said that no more road tolls. So if MPP MPs wants to use that as a yardstick, a cane to whip the current government for banning employment, they should tell us when they lifted the ban on public sector employment and in which budget they did so.
Wow.
It is part of the IMF conditionalities.
Okay.
Just as the quarterly electricity and utility adjustment.
Tariffs, yeah.
It is also part of the IMF conditionalities.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be saying it is something that we took to the IMF and told them that this is what we are going to do.
Which year did we do that?
We took in 2022.
Oh, so it's not something new. It's not something
new.
that because
it has been from 2022. This particular
I
thing.
actually heard this news from Dennis Marakalabwaji, who said the youth are being misled because the new government has placed a ban on employment in the public sector.
Let me send you a link. I'm going to send you a link right now. If you have time, just you can read it to the people, to our listeners to hear it.
Our time is
almost up, but you can just read the heading.
Okay.
Ghanaian politician.
DJ Rock will be taking over very soon, but before that, we will be looking at a news outlet.
I think I've sent it
from City News, and it says that government freezes public sector employment effective January 2023. Now, this announcement was made by...
Check the date the announcement was made. It was 24th November 2022.
Okay. So the finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, has announced the ban on... Okay. So that was in 2022 when Ken Oforiatta was still
the finance
minister.
Yeah.
So to the misinformation by Miracles Abuaje, another NPP... folks, to the people, this is misleading. I mean, it's no matter what.
Just like the betting tax saga.
If we leave too big, we are not closing today. So I just need to. He wants trouble for this NPP people. I don't know why.
They are trouble themselves. It's not me wanting the trouble for them.
So to the public, we want you to understand that as you know, research has made it clear. Yes, there is a freeze on public sector employment, but this conditionality was submitted by the erstwhile government, the NPP, in 2022, which actually took effect in 2023. So it's not something that is just recent under the new government. It's been there for almost 2 years now, and until we are done with this IMF whatever, the NDC has promised to go and seek some reformation with the agreements with the IMF. We are looking forward to how best it can help reshape some of these things that is going to go against us in this while. But for clarity's sake, it's been there since 2023. This is not an NDC doing. It was an NPP doing. If they want to politicize it, we need to make it clear under whose political party this issuance was being made. This is where we will be ending our conversation this morning. I thank you, gentlemen, so much, Mr. Ochebekson and Mr. Dubik Stevens, for making time to be with us on the show this morning. Before we go, I want to give reverence to a man that I recently met. He's doing fantastically good. He's doing great. These are the men we need to encourage and support in society. His name is Dr. George E. Jemfi Oseo, and he is the CEO and founder of the Nana Kwesi Oseo Foundation. Last Friday, I was invited by him to a sporting event in Ukriapemang School. You know, the SHS are having there.
Okay.
And this man was there to support the female sporting activity, with medals, with gifts, with compensations and all. And I saw how it boosted the females in partaking in some of these things. The teachers were excited, the students, they were encouraged to do more. And having a short conversation with him, he made me understand how he is well in some of the steps he is taking to empower the youth and develop communities. So Nana Kwesi Oseo, Dr. George E. Jemfi Oseo, wherever you are this morning, I greet you, I salute you, and I want to commend you for the good works you are doing and what you have in store for us. His foundation will be officially launched very soon, and you know, Ghana Talks Radio will be there to support him with media assistance and all that. But before that, we want to commend him for all the good things that he is doing. I will be leaving you here. It's a brand new week, it's a brand new day. Have that passion, that energy, whatever you've set your mind to. By midweek, don't lose hope, don't lose focus. If you start as bounces, shall I go back? Anytime I go to the Gobe woman and she's not there, I go back in the afternoon. I go and I get something. So, same energy anywhere. This man. So we thank you once again for making time with us. We will be coming your way. Thank you for all my producers and also the ladies that came before me, Esinam and Regina Bless. Thank you to my producer, DJ Q. DJ Rock will be taking over soon, and you know, we will come your way same time tomorrow. Have fun.